I hope that everyone enjoyed it. Apologies, of course, that we are a little bit delayed. We're delayed because of the Wrestling Escape Pods. I always try to get here about 5 past. It normally overruns a little bit. In the future, maybe I should set it a little bit later, but I don't know. If you join us for those streams, we have a good laugh at the end. I really enjoy doing the Wrestling Escape Pods. And we just have a lot of fun with it. So I do find it it's always like, oh, let's just do one more picture. Let's just do one more picture. And so I end up struggling to actually pull myself away from watching what we're doing over there. So if you joined us for that, big shout out. Hope you had a laugh, had some fun. I really enjoy them since we've gone back to looking at those Instagram pictures. So that's why I was delayed. But yeah, I hope everyone is well. Hope everyone's recovered from what was a very well received episode of WWE Raw. What I want to do is, for my own sake, to be honest, have a look at the WWE website and see what the official breakdown is for tonight, and see what it is they've got in store for us as we come out of Heatwave. As we said, we have got plenty for us to get our teeth into tonight, including Soul Ruca taking on Fallon Henley. We've got Tony D'Angelo defending the Heritage Cup against Lexis King. We've got Carmen Petrovic battling her Heatwave partner Ariana Grace. That should be fun. They worked well together, picked up the victory, but obviously it's a short-lived union unless JC and Jasmine attack, and then they've got to team back up again. Maybe we are going to keep going with Carmen and Ariana for a bit. And then we've got Wesley. He is going to speak after his Heatwave loss. It's going to be very interesting to see what Wesley has got to say, because, of course, that was a big setback, him trying to get his North American Championship back from Obafemi and failing. Does it mean that he's free now to kind of go up and challenge Ethan Page? Could we get a main event of Ethan Page against Wesley? I don't know. Ethan Page, of course, the new NXT champion. The other thing that's been teased for this show is, of course, Joe Hendry. We saw Joe Hendry appear right at the end of the broadcast. It was just a little video clip, I think, from his music video. So we saw Joe Hendry appear for a split second, and so that obviously created quite a bit of buzz, quite a bit of excitement out in the wrestling world. We've seen Joe Hendry before in NXT a few weeks ago. So are we going to see him again tonight? And if so, who's he targeting? What's he coming in to do? Is he going to be coming alone? Like, what are we doing? Obviously, we saw Charlie Dempsey attack on TNA. So we saw Charlie Dempsey going over to TNA. Are we going to get some TNA stars coming over to NXT? That's the question. So plenty for us to have a look at, plenty for us to get our teeth into, and plenty for us to chuck around. Brenda, shout out to you, said yes, you are live streaming on my birthday. Brenda, shout out to you. Yes, we're here every Monday, every Tuesday, every Friday. We do member streams on a Wednesday and a Thursday. I'm thinking of doing members watch-alongs. I'm also thinking of doing a members opinions video. I thought that could be fun, where I think a lot of people are getting in touch going, oh, I didn't quite make the opinions video today. And my answer to people would be, don't worry about it. We do opinion videos every day. So there's always a way of getting into the next opinions video. But I thought that would be pretty good. Like, if the members maybe didn't have to worry so much about, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? Although saying that, there's like 400 members now, I believe. It's a crazy number at the moment. There's been so many people that have been gifting memberships that have been so supportive and so kind. Like, the members side has just really gone bonkers over the past like month or so. So I really am looking at that going, oh my God, how are we going to make sure that like that side of it is being dealt with. So we are doing a member stream tomorrow, and we are going to be talking about what the flip, shall we do going forward with this. I feel like 2 member streams a week is very achievable. I feel like an members' opinions thing could be very welcome, and that could be something we could look to do. And I feel like maybe a watch along once a month, something like that could be something we could do, which would be very achievable. Add in some more emojis as well. We added the Wyatt 6 emoji, so we're definitely looking at that side of things, and we'll do that tomorrow. But yes, Brenda, your birthday, it fell on a Tuesday, and we are here. But of course, even if you're not a member, I'm very aware, I'm very conscious that the vast majority of people that join us won't be members, and that's absolutely fine. I'm so grateful for everybody that joins us. There's content on the channel every single day, and on the other channel as well. So even if you're not a member, you'll not be stuck for stuff to enjoy and get your teeth into. So we had an opinions video that went up in regards to Raw, and then an opinions video that went up, which is all about why did Nikki not take her mask off. That went up a few hours ago on the second channel. So 2 videos kind of going up today over there. And I haven't seen, to be honest, how that other video has been received. Hopefully people enjoyed it. I thought there was some really interesting stuff in there. I do find the Wyatt 6 opinion videos quite challenging, because I do find that, and I keep saying this in the videos, I need to understand them. And if I have a thought of, no, I don't think it's that because of this, or this, or this, or this, I sort of get the feeling that other people are probably thinking that as well. If I'm thinking it, I'm thinking other people are thinking it. So I do find that, like, sometimes I have to go, well, I get your point, but I'm not sure, because we did get told this, or we do know it relates to that, or we think it's leading to this, or so it can be a bit more challenging rather than just listening to people's thoughts on a show. I find the Wyatt 6 ones a lot more involving, a lot more, there's a bit more back and forth there, if you will. But I don't know, maybe it makes for a better video as well. And I thought there were some excellent theories that were provided, so if you've not seen it, check it out if that is your kind of thing. But we are here for NXT, and I know so many people watched on Sunday, and there were so many people in the chat saying, oh, I don't normally watch NXT, but after tonight I'm gonna tune in. I want to make sure I'm watching it. What I would say is, listen, go in with your expectations low, because this can be a mixed bag. We are dealing with a developmental brand. We are dealing with people that are learning, right? So not everything you're going to see is going to blow your mind. What you saw was really the cream of the crop on Sunday. The actual show, it can reach those levels, and whole episodes can reach those levels, but sometimes it can be a mixed bag as well. So I would hate for people to watch NXT tonight expecting another like heat wave type show, not getting it, and then going, yeah, nah, this ain't for me. I think if you go into it with a bit more of a realistic expectation, hopefully you get more out of it as a result. So yeah, I'm not trying to scare people off. I just want people to kind of go into it with their expectations in check. But yeah, people really enjoyed Heatwave. So many people said it was better than Money in the Bank. And I think that is obviously massively encouraging, because I really enjoy NXT. I think it's doing some really good stuff. Not every week, you know, as we said, it can be hit and miss. We've spoken about that before. We're being honest, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I've watched on and off since, you know, when the network first arrived in the UK. And even before that, I was watching clips on YouTube and keeping up with what was happening there. But when the network arrived and we could actually start watching full episodes here in the UK, because we got the network a little later than you did in America, it was brilliant. It was a real treat. And that's when, you know, you're going back to like 2014. So that was when like you could really start digging into the show. So probably on and off, but a hell of a lot more on. I've been watching NXT for 10 years. There's a video of me in 2016 going to Bournemouth here in the UK. It's like a little vlog thing of me going to Bournemouth and watching NXT in Bournemouth in 2016. So that's 8 years ago now. And I remember, I've told the story before, seeing the likes of Peyton Royce, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Asuka, Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, the list of people that were in attendance at that show was crazy. And Bournemouth is not the biggest of venues. I mean, before NXT UK, we did used to get NXT coming over. You might remember they actually did a takeover in the UK. That's when Finn Balor dressed as Jack the Ripper. We did get an NXT takeover London. So we did used to get NXT kind of coming over. But when NXT UK sort of took off, that's when they stopped doing all of that. And honestly, it's such a shame because I really did love NXT. And I wish they would bring them back over again. Because there's no NXT UK anymore, so I would love for NXT to come over again, but don't know that they've got any plans to do that, unfortunately, so instead we just have to watch on Tuesdays. Right, Heatwave was a great pay-per-view, said Dro. Sevda said, say his name and he appears. Corey said, I had to explain to my wife this morning about a crazy dream I had about Liv. She is crazier than y'all know. It was 100,000% better, said Shakeen. Dark Knight said, Daze, I remember when you stopped watching NXT. Don't tell me to bear with it. No, I did. It's true. I said on and off. Again, it was in there. It was in there, right? Because we did step away when it went to NXT 2.0. And I really don't regret doing that because for those that haven't been watching NXT and may be new to the brand, like so many people were saying on Sunday, unfortunately, when Triple H had his heart issues, Vince McMahon sort of took control of, and Kevin Dunn took control of NXT, and they rebranded it NXT 2.0, and they massively hit the reset button on NXT, and it really stopped being what had been before and what is now. Like, they hit the reset button, and the shows were they were nowhere near as good. That NXT 2.0 periods, I think there are some great moments that you can pull out of that. I don't think you can throw it all away. But I was watching that and I was like, nah, this is not the NXT that I know and love. This is not black and gold. This is a massive change. And I think part of the issue was that a lot of talent got introduced at the same time and they were green. They were really, really green. So it meant that you was watching kind of performer that was learning, followed by performer that was learning, followed by performer that was learning. And the standard of the show just drastically dropped for me, just really did drop down. So for me, I was like, I need to step away from this for a bit. So stepped away for a little bit, few months, whilst NXT kind of found its feet again. And then we came back after a bit when I was being told it's got somewhere now. People were starting to tell me, no, it's got good now. You'd like it now. And I remember coming back and watching it. I was like, yes, this is much better. Like, it had clicked, and that talent that had been struggling at the start, they had now found their feet a bit better. So we came back to it, and it was starting to, it's the thing with NXT is that NXT is good because people work hard to make it good, and you have this lovely blend of like new talent mixed in with talent that's been there for a while. And I really felt during that NXT 2.0 period there was a lot more new talent that had come in that was taking up screen time that just was not delivering, and those shows were not easy shows to watch, in my opinion. So I don't know that too many people look back at NXT 2.0 with much fondness. I mean, it's no surprise as soon as Vince was gone, we immediately got rid of NXT 2.0. We rebranded it to the NXT we know now. Shawn Michaels in charge of it, and I think it's performed a hell of a lot better. It's gone back to being the kind of NXT that we love. So, and Sunday really showed that, didn't he? Sunday really showed that it's still got it. It's still got that magic. So, yeah, long may it continue. Very very excited to see what the future holds with so much good talent that we've got right now. Abro Jets said, did you watch Yamal's goal? I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't watch the game, to be honest. I went to bed during the game because just the way things worked, really. I ended up getting up much earlier than I wanted to. Like, I need to get about 7 hours sleep. If I don't get 7 hours, then I would be sitting here like, and you know, you would be able to tell that I've just not had enough sleep. I'm pretty close to useless if I just don't get 7 hours. So I'm either working or I'm sleeping. That's pretty much my life. So for some reason, I woke up after like 4 hours. I went to bed and I woke up randomly after like 4. I was like, why am I awake? Why am I awake? I should not be awake. I shouldn't be up at this time. So I ended up like, you know, doing that Nikki video and responding to some people on in notifications and, you know, setting up the web stream. And I did like stuff like that. But the problem was, by the time it got to about 8 o'clock and the match was starting, I was like, yeah, I'm feeling it now. So I went back to bed for a couple of hours. So I think all in all, I've had about 6 hours if I combine the two, and that's okay. I can deal with that. So, no, I ended up missing the whole thing. I woke up to just read what the final score was. So, Spain are through. I heard that Yamal's goal was incredible. I mean, he's 16. He's clearly going to be a massive, you know, world star. I mean, I feel like we've gone through the Ronaldo and Messi era. I wonder if we're about to go into the Yamal and Hendry era, because Hendry is like, what, 17? And doing really well for the Brazilian national team. And now you've got Yamal, who's 16, who's just scored in a semi-final of the Euros at the age of 16. I mean, it's just flipping ridiculous, really. So, yeah, and he's looked up good all tournament as well. I mean, what a player. And he's only going to get better, isn't he? So, yeah, I'm pleased for him. I wish he was English. But I'm pleased for him. I hope that if England get through, he has a horrific game. And I hope that he is not as good as what we think he is. Maybe he could get like a sickness bug or something. I'm not sure. Do you know what I mean? Maybe like, I don't know, he can't get a work visa because he's too young for the final if England get there. I don't know. Any way that we can get him to not play in that game, if England make it, would be appreciated. Washington 545 said, Daze, were you able to see AEW's Anthony Khan has been looking into federal authorities due to a doxing situation? Thoughts? I don't really have any thoughts, to be honest. I don't really follow AEW anymore, so like I can't really talk to you about. I'm not trying to avoid the conversation, because if you've watched the channel, you'll know we don't. I mean, we spoke about Vince. We've spoke openly about really anything that goes down. Anything that's kind of controversial, we don't shy away from it, because I think people have been at work all day, and when you finish work, you want to come back, and you don't want someone sitting here going, yeah, no, we don't talk about that. I mean, what? Like, now we'll talk about it. I've seen someone sent me something to do with doxing. So some fan has opened up a legal case against AEW, sort of implying that they're encouraging people, or they're encouraging fans to, I don't know, dox, like threaten to release information or something like this. Like, I don't really get it. Like, I don't really understand. I don't really understand the case, to be honest. What it feels like to me, and I could be wrong, but what it feels like to me is it feels like a fan is, like, you know, angry, and maybe they're a WWE fan and they're just trying to find ways of making Tony Khan's life difficult, you know, and they have brought this lawsuit. Like, is this a real, this person has actually been affected by something real case, or is this a, yeah, let's see if we can cause some trouble to Tony Khan type situation? I don't know, because I don't really understand what the lawsuit is about. I read that Tony is encouraging fans to dox people. When's he done that? Is it a tweet that he sent out? I don't know. I really don't know what it relates to. So it's very difficult to talk about. If you've got more details, I'll happily look into them. But to be honest, when it comes to Tony and AEW, if it ain't just a quick glance at the rating and seeing, you know, how Dynamite's just doing at the moment, I don't really pay it much attention, to be honest. Irish Neep said, thanks for the support on the Looney Tunes video. Yeah, that was good, but I like that. Thought it was, you did a good job there with those images of the Wyatt Six and the Looney Tunes music. So dropped a like and a comment on that. So very good, my friends. Hope it does well. Hope people take it in the right way. You have to be careful with that sometimes, because people are quite sensitive when it comes to this stuff because of it being about Bray and Bray no longer being with us. And there are, you know, as every week goes by, I think you get a few more haters appearing. So I know what you meant by it. I thought it was fun, but it's one of those where you just have to, I think, before you press like that post button, you have to just think, is this going to get received the way that I want this to be received? I think you're fine, but yeah, there's a lot of fan stuff out there, a lot of fan art and stuff like that. It's really good at the moment, really, really good. Some really good Wyatt Six stuff that's out there. I can't say that I've seen. What I haven't seen yet, and I hope it doesn't happen, is I haven't seen like the haters kind of coming out and creating stuff, you know. I mean, obviously you see that with AEW. People that hate AEW, you get like videos and stuff getting made. I haven't seen anything like that for the Wyatt Six yet, and you know, good. I think that video was very well received on Monday, so good. But yeah, some good stuff out there, some good fan art out there, good fan video stuff like that, and I thought yours was good. I tweeted you the Mal goal, says James. Thank you, James. I might just have a quick look at it right now. I can't play it, only I can enjoy it. Oh my god, a minute. Oh, right, okay, it's not a minute. Oh my god. Boom. Boom. Lovely. Lovely. That's probably better than Saka's, isn't it? Because of the height. I kind of feel like Saka's was maybe a touch closer, but Saka's had to get through a lot more people. This one is that little further out, and it's right in the corner. So, yeah, that's a good goal, that is. That's a really good goal. And it shows that, I mean, like, you can see the amount of French players that are around him as well. So for him to create just enough space to then pull that trigger. And the thing is, now he's scored, he's going to have more confidence in the final, isn't he? So not good for England, that, to be honest. Not good for England. But they've got to worry about getting through first. Andrea said, Daze, what if Alexa comes back as the Fiend? And just then, Nikki put her mask off to show a sort of old Alexa Firefly version that follows the leader. Nikki, the new Alexa, and Alexa, the new Fiend. I mean, you could go that way. The only thing I would say is I don't quite know how. I mean, I don't know. Would Nikki... What would Nikki do to look like Alexa? I mean, she can't really change her hair because we know what her hair looks like. And I can't really think of what she could do with her face that's going to resemble Alexa. Unless she kind of does her face up to look like Lily. But we know that she's not embodying Lily. Nikki is embodying Abby the Witch, because Nikki is Abby the Witch brought to life. So I can't see how she can embody Abby the Witch and then also in the face embody Alexa. So I would think it unlikely. Because these are the puppets brought to life, aren't they? And we've already seen the images of the puppets shown over the top of these people. So we saw Mercy over the top of Dexter. We saw Ramblin' Rabbit over the top of Rowan. We saw Huskus, the puppet, over the top of Joe Gacy. And we saw Abby over the top of Nikki. So I wouldn't really expect for there to be anything other than it be Abby under there, like the embodiment of Abby. There was a comment that was made by Chris on the opinions video who said, what if she's burnt her face? And I thought, why would she do that? Because the puppet hasn't got a burnt face. So why would she do that, right? Because I feel like this is just the puppet brought to life. But we know that Sister Abigail was burned in that compound fire, right? And what if, to feel comfortable, she wants to be actually in a body that is burned so that she can feel like she's more alive? You know, this is her body. This body was in that fire. It had to go through, you know, the flames, just like she went through the flames. She doesn't feel comfortable in this vessel unless it more closely resembles, like, you know, what she went through. I don't know that that's what's happening. I don't think that's what's happening, to be honest. But I thought that was an interesting theory. I could see some logic as to why you might want to go down that road. But I don't know that that's what's happening. There was a few, to be honest. I mean, I would say have a watch that video if you haven't already. I think that I thought it was a very good video, and I thought there was some really good points that were made. I can't say that I really settled on any that was my favorite theories, but it definitely got me thinking. It definitely got me, and it was very interesting how many people didn't think that Nikki was Abby the Witch. There was a lot of people thinking that she is like the bride and she is this separate. I feel like they've answered that she is Abby. And again, you know, without spoiling that video, I feel like the fact that she wears white is because of the presentation. So like the lights go out, it's dark, smoke fills the ring. You know, do we want Nikki standing there in a black dress that's going to be hard to see? Or do we just make that slight change and put her in white, which from a presentation point of view is going to be a lot more visible and is going to be a lot easier to see with that low lighting? So it might just be that that's the reason for the change between the black and the white dress. It's just a presentation point of view. And she is still Abby the Witch. Like, the color of the dress is not enough to stop her from being that character. I do believe she is that puppet brought to life, for example. So lots that we could dig into that if that's a direction that people wanted to go. Carl and Dawn, shout out to you, said Daze, let's go. Let's go. We've got 18 minutes. 18 minutes, and we are working towards NXT. I was just reading something there. Corey said NXT moving forwards, including the new era on CW, will be a lot of fun. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So it seems like they're teasing something long term that's going to be a lot of fun to do with NXT. I wonder if that shows itself tonight. Don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Oh, Ryder has just tagged me. Let's just bring this up. It's kind of interesting. I like this kind of fact-based stuff. So here we've got, is that the cage match score for, yeah, Money in the Bank? 5.6. 5.65 for Money in the Bank. And if we go over, so there's Sean cooking because 9.3 for NXT Heatwave. It is worth just mentioning, right? It is worth mentioning. I can't point because my hand goes behind, unfortunately. I wonder if I should change that. It would help. Oh, I can use my thing, can't I? Valid votes, 286. I mean, we're dealing with not the biggest sample size in the world here, right? But we're dealing with less than 300 votes. And I've got to think, if you're someone that, you know, one of your first thoughts is to go over to cage match, you've probably got a bit more of an extreme opinion, right? You're probably going to either have really loved it or really hated it, because either way, you really want to get your point heard. I can't imagine too many people watching an average show going, I need to get on cage match now because that was a banging 7 out of 10. Oh my god, that's a 6. If ever I've seen a 6. Let's go. Let's get to cage match. So, I don't know, to be honest. You know, this it was the better received show. It did get a 9.3. For me, there's no way that it should get a score that high, right? No way was that a 9.3 show, in my opinion, right? I mean, there's 170 people that scored it 10 out of 10. 170 of the 286 people that voted claim, right? Think about what they're claiming. They're claiming that that show could not be made any better. That's what they're claiming. 170 people out of the 286 are saying that that was as perfect a wrestling show as they have ever seen or will ever see. And that is just not true. That can just not be true, right? That cannot be true, because the 3 matches at the start of the show could be better, right? Could be better, because the co-main banged, the main banged, but the 3 matches before, they were really good to great, but they could have been better. They could have been better, right? We didn't get Julia or any other big surprise. We didn't get any big return. We didn't get any shock arrival or anything like that. So you're telling me that you cannot make what we saw on Sunday any better? What? That doesn't make any sense, does it? I can't compute that. So this is not a 9.3 show. So this is where Cage Match for me really lets itself down. It's not a, you get people that have got these like really extreme opinions, but there's not enough of a sample size to actually get the score to where it should be. If we had more people using this and we were in the thousands and we could get a bit more level-headed kind of scores getting in there, then I think you'd start to see some scores that probably reflect the truth, rather than saying it was a 9.3 show and this is a 5.6 show. I mean, what I would say is maybe this one is a little bit more in line, right? Because you can see the vast majority went with it being a 7, and that feels more realistic. This being a 7 feels more realistic, and it's got a bigger number of votes, not loads. We're pushing 400 this time, right? 400 this time. So we have got a few more votes here. This one doesn't bother me as much, to be honest, the 5.6. Because there's a nice spread in the middle there. It's not just you know what I mean? It's not just like flipping 170 people voted it a 1, you know? But that one, I look at the breakdown of that one, I'm like, nah, mate, nah. So, you know, Cage Match to me, I like looking at it. This is why I'm showing it you, because it's interesting. I think it's a good guide. That's probably the best way to use it. If you want to know what good shows were, then, you know, Cage Match will tell you what was good, what was bad. But I certainly don't think you can put much stock in like it being in some sort of correct order, or even being a reflection of the absolute truth. I think that it's just like a real rough guide. So that's how I would use Cage Match. But interesting, quite the difference between the two shows. But in all fairness, in our opinion videos, there was quite the difference between those two shows. We got another one here as well. Look, here's Jordan saying, Motor City Machine Guns, Joe Hendry, maybe Julia. So Sean said, Heatwave set the WWE Universe on fire. It's safe to say we'll be feeling the fallout and more tonight on NXT. So I think Joe Hendry, I don't know about Motor City Machine Guns, but they did very publicly put a statement out saying they were done with the indie scene. Julia, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't even know where she is, to be honest. I don't even know where she is with her return. So Tommaso posted a picture of the Motor City Machine Guns. There's a few bits for us to there's Yamal. There's a few bits for us to take a look at there, but yeah, lots to get our teeth into. It was me, not you, said Daze. What if Nikki is just a vessel to bring back Alexa Bliss? Nikki will revert to a Lily type after her mask is removed, and Bliss will take on the Abigail role. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I can't say that that's a favoured theory because there's not really anything to hang your hat on there. Like, it's a theory, but I can't really say, yeah, I can see it going that way because of this. I mean, all of this is based on Nikki just not taking her mask off. That's it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, Nikki was the only one that didn't take her mask off. And so people are asking the question, why? Why was she the only one? So I think this is a tricky one because we don't really have many pieces to this puzzle. I feel like we've got one piece of a puzzle and we're kind of putting it in different places, but it still ain't making a picture because we've only got one piece. So it's like, yeah, it could be. You could be correct. You could be correct. It could be that she is going to give up that character to Alexa and move on to a different character. I would probably think it unlikely because it's a bit messy. Probably better to just keep it on Nikki and have Alexa come in as a new character and not have, you know, Sister Abigail moving around or Abby the Witch moving between people. But I don't know, we're only looking at a piece this big, aren't we, really? And we can't really get a glimpse of what the picture is at the moment. Chaz said, I feel like now that we've seen Bo with Adam, we'll see more of the Wyatt Six in the arena and soon in ring. Tingus Pingus said, do we think Carmelo has the potential to be a champ by the end of the year? Yeah. He could be a tag team champ, definitely. He may find a way of getting a mid-card belt. I don't think he'll be a world champ. I would be surprised if he was to get his way to a mid-card belt. The only thing I'd say is... what brand is he on? I'm trying to think what brand Carmelo Hayes is on. I think Izzy over on SmackDown. He is, isn't he? So Logan has got the belt. So could Carmelo get it from LA Knight? Could it be that LA Knight gets it from Logan at SummerSlam? That's August. He can carry it for, 3 months and then drop it to Carmelo? That might be a bit soon, to be honest. That might be a bit soon. I don't know that he'll carry it 3 months. He'll likely carry it to WrestleMania, I would imagine. Unless you want to get the belt off LA Knight because you are looking next year to make him a world champion. I think tag champ. I think there's a chance he can get into... a tag division and get himself into a tag team and get a tag title. Definitely not a world's. And at the moment, the only belt he would be able to get would be the US one. That's going to get dropped to a face, and then he would have to be the next person to get it, unless they're going to go bonkers with the belt and just start passing it around. So, tag belt, yes. Anything else looks a bit tricky. Nita Nitro said, who is the current head of promo class and development on that side? This is the one side that I think needs work, said Nita Nitro. I actually don't know who takes promo class anymore. Obviously, back in the day, it was Dusty Rhodes. It's Matt Bloom, who used to be like Tensai, who is the head of the Performance Center. Sean is in charge of, like, I believe the NXT booking and the show and all of that. I think Matt Bloom reports into Sean, but they work together because Matt Bloom really deals more with the training sides, whereas Sean deals more with the TV product side, but I think he kind of oversees it. You've got people like Norman Smiley, you've got people like Robbie Brookside. I think you've still got Sarah down there as well, who obviously deals with the women. But yeah, I actually don't know anymore. Does anyone know who takes the promo classes since Dusty? I mean, could be Sean. Could be Sean. But I genuinely don't know. I don't know who takes the promo side of it in particular. But I know that Matt Bloom oversees all of that. Des Basketball said, do you think there's a chance AJ Styles pops up in TNA, said Des Basketball. I think so, yeah. I mean, I think he has actually made noise about wanting to go over to TNA. I mean, that obviously was absolutely massive for his career. So I think that there is like a desire for him to go over there and you know, kind of, I suppose, repay a little bit, you know, considering like how much he has actually gone on to achieve since he was there. And, you know, you can really put a lot of that down to TNA giving him that opportunity. I think he wants to go back and repay that. So there seems to be some positive noise coming from AJ himself, and TNA would welcome him back in a heartbeat. So I don't know if he would go there as a WWE superstar or if his contract would run out and then he just signs with TNA. I mean, that side of it, I don't know. But I would expect to see AJ Styles in a TNA ring at some point in the near future. Yes, I would. I think that's something that he would want to do before he calls it a day. David said, it's been a long time. I felt this invested in WWE storylines. The opinion videos, they could be hours long and I would still watch, says David. David, shout out to you, my friends. I am very conscious, maybe rightfully or wrongfully, but I am very conscious of not outstaying people's welcome, and I'm conscious of trying to get through as many thoughts as possible, because you never know the gems, the gold that's in there. You never quite know when you're going to come across it. I mean, everyone's opinion is valid, but obviously you can get a lot of the same opinions, so you don't really know until you start reading through them. And sometimes, you know, it can get not too repetitive, but I think that was an issue when they were an hour long. Now they're half an hour long. We don't tend to get like as repetitive now. I feel like half an hour is the sweet spot. If we were to cut it down less than that, I think that we're probably running the risk of cutting out too much good stuff. If we go longer than that, we then increase the chance of it being repetitive. And I think you have to kind of draw the line somewhere. So I feel like half an hour is the sweet spot. So I'm really pleased you enjoy them. I think there are some really good thoughts that come from the community. It's a great way of just, I suppose, getting that initial reaction. I said this before. I think there's real value in me recording them on the night. So literally, I'll do a video on this channel. I'll put up some reaction clips, and then I'll record the opinions video. And that is my process going forwards. So, you know, I think we might even have a look. I don't know how well it will be received, to be honest, because NXT, it's not as popular, right? I mean, let's be honest. With Raw, SmackDown, we'll do 10,000 views at least, right? Very, very fortunate. We've got such a supportive community. Those streams will do about 10,000. Recent ones have been double, triple that, right? But NXT, it'll do about 4,000 or 5,000. That's kind of where NXT is. It's really much like less viewed. So opinion videos based on NXT I've always stayed away from. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like we could start maybe looking at those, unless there was a big burning topic that we definitely needed to do a big conversation on instead, you know. But I will definitely do an opinions video tonight. They're shorter, but they're more regular now. So that's my commitment to the opinion videos. And I agree with you. I think trying to find that balance of getting as many comments heard as possible, finding that gold, but reducing the repetition and trying to make them a much more enjoyable view. That's my battle, really. That's what I'm trying to achieve. So to hear that you enjoyed them is really, really cool. I'm pleased that you do. Even though they're on the second channel, we use that second channel every day now. So I am really committed to them. The only reason I don't put them on this channel is because I don't want them to kind of hide the videos we do here. I just don't want videos getting in the way of each other. Over there, they've got their own space. That's it. Otherwise, they would be on this channel like they used to be. They used to be on this channel. So they're not lesser than or anything. It's just to avoid them getting in each other's way. Metal Mummy said, I agree. I wish I remembered to post my opinion, but again, mine would take up the entire time, as I am only capable of writing novels. No short-winded thoughts here, says Metal Mama. Metal Mama, shout out to you. Well, all thoughts are welcome, even long-winded ones. And I do get people going, oh, I missed it, I'm gutted, I really wanted to be in that. It's like, honestly, don't worry about it. And we're going to do opinion videos every day. Like, it's a bit like missing a bus and there's another one in 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. So we will do another one tonight. At the moment, I'm thinking it may be on NXT, just to give that a try and see if that's something people would be engaged with and would be interested in. If not, then I'll have to start thinking of topics to kind of for us to talk about on a Tuesday night, you know. Right, question for you, Daze. Who would be your top 5 wrestlers in NXT, says Paul? Right now, probably Javon. I mean, Javon I'm so impressed with. I love Javon Evans. I love Trick Williams. Really enjoying his work. Honestly, Kalani. I really do rate Kalani. I think Roxanne, since she turned heel, has massively grabbed my attention. And I think that final spot is really tricky, to be honest, because there's some brilliant talent. You could go Wesley, you could go Nathan Frazier, who I think is really good. I like the character work of Tony D'Angelo. So and Tony's pretty decent in the ring. Duke Hudson's starting to show a little bit more again. I mean, he's been in NXT for a long time. I haven't seen enough of Ethan, even though he is the NXT champ. I haven't really seen enough to, like, put him there. Or I don't think Sean Spears, personally. I don't mind Lexis King, actually. He's really grown on me. Lexis King has really grown on me. And Sol Ruca as well. I mean, I can give you 4 and then tell you there's a big scramble for that final spot. So, Roxanne, Javon, Trick, and I can't even remember who the other one was that I said. Kalani. Those 4 are the 4 that I really enjoy watching. And then there's a mad scramble for the 5th. Right, here we go then. Here we flipping go. Let's go. So we're just seeing, obviously the recap. This will probably take about half an hour. Bum, 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 bum. What are your thoughts on Andrade and his in-ring? I think he's really good. I just think that he needs a good feud and he needs time to show what he can do. I mean, he needs a premium live event match. Give him a premium live event match, one-on-one with someone in a red-hot feud. He'll show you how good he is. We've seen it. Him against Johnny Gargano is one of my absolute favourite NXT matches in the history of NXT. Every match I've ever seen, that championship match between Johnny Gargano and Andrade, I put it right up there. I'm not saying it's number 1, but I'm saying if we were to do a video of talking about the best ever NXT matches, say an hour-long video, you're obviously going to mention Bayley and Sasha. You're obviously going to be mentioning, like, Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. You're obviously going to be mentioning Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY, Revival, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke. The list goes on and on. But you're going to talk about Andrade and Johnny at one point because it really was exceptional. I've seen what he can do. He just has not shown it on the main roster. But, you know, he's flat, he's cold. I mean, when he came out during the Money in the Bank thing, great reactions for LA Knight, great reactions for Jey Uso. When they introduced Andrade, just cold, really cold. But of course he is, because we haven't done nothing with him. So I think that he is someone that can really achieve something. And I wish we would pull the trigger on him. But I don't know why we don't. This is why I was so frustrated about Money in the Bank, because we put it on Drew and we knew what was going to happen and it happened. And that's it. When someone like Andrade could have carried that briefcase for 8 months, been in the conversation, got his profile raised. And as I said, even if the end result, the very end result is that he failed the cash-in, at least he would have been getting onto TV. At least he would have been getting involved in some big segments. At least he would have been in the conversation. At the moment, he borderline gets forgotten about. So it's very frustrating. Very frustrating. But listen, they went the way that they went. What happened, happened, and we have moved on. Liam said, Daze, much love. Amazing content as always. Liam, shout out to you, sir. Hope you had a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. And really appreciate the support, my friend. So shout out to you. And where's hello? Where's 420? A member for 23 months. Nearly 2 years. Said, blunt is lit. Time to smoke the chat out. Wes, hope you're well, my friends. Hope you had a good weekend also. So a big shout out to everyone that's joining us. Right, here we go. We're starting with Ethan Page. Boos for Ethan Page, the new NXT champion. Big smile on his face. And we do have some security coming out at the same time. So here's Ethan. So it took him 40 days to become champion, the quickest that anyone has gone on to become NXT champion after debuting. I feel like there's a bit of an asterisk next to that, though. Okay, well, here we go. Andrade needs his own Ricardo Rodriguez, said Undercover Manager. I do agree with that. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Look at it. Not my champion signs. Not my champ. Let's go. We've got dueling chants, though. There are all ego counter chants. This is loud. Shut the hell up chants, though. Not my champ. Not my champ. Not my champ. This cameraman probably hates Ethan Page. Sure, the entire locker room hates Ethan Page. Is there a Sami Zayn chant? Okay, so Ethan in the ring and the crowd are not keen. Where's Trick? Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oro Mensah. Oro Mensah's trying to get at him. Oro Mensah obviously was attacked. He's never quite got his pound of flesh from Ethan. I want to send a special thank you to General Manager Ava. Man, they're just booing all over, aren't they? Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. He's just doing his promo, isn't he? I mean, he is just talking and the crowd are just absolutely pooping all over him. And he's just going to keep talking. I have no idea what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. I can hear whoop that trick. I can hear not my champ. I can hear you suck. It's still going. Does he ever run out of words? You suck. You suck. You guys have a saying? We are NXT. Wrong. Ethan says, I am NXT. What, that era is officially done. Now we've entered the era of ego. Here he is! Here he is! Ah, cut the music! Oh my god, he's turned heel. Cut the music! Cut the music! Best believe I'm gonna get even. I want my rematch. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He wants the rematch tonight. Shut up. Give him the match. I wanted to thank you face to face. I guess you could say I fell into the NXT title. I guess you could. Just punch him in the face, Trick. Punch him in the face. You're not the guy around here anymore. So, Ethan Page says denied for the title rematch request. Here's Sean Spears. The problem with Andrade is that he doesn't speak English, said Spanter Crow, and his promos suck. He needs Zelina. Okay, here's Sean Spears. Ethan says, thanks for your help, but I would have won the match anyway. Please stop saying NXT is awful. There's only a handful of mods to block the messages. Have we got lots of people saying that, have we? Trick, I can't let that happen. You crying out here for a rematch. You need to go to the back of the line. Ah, mates. Mates. I don't think Javon's got much of a chance because he was the one that was pinned. You two need to shut the hell up. I did this. I did that. I was this close to being the new NXT champ, and that's facts. Spain have got Yamal. We've got Javon. Ugly ass Sean Spears or goofball Ethan Page. So what are we building towards here? Where are we going? Looks like all of these four have still got their sights set on that title. Could we get the Rascals tonight after Charlie attacked them on TNA? Yeah, I mean, if we had people go over there attacking, you've got to think there's a chance that we'll get some retaliation. We didn't really get anything established from that, unfortunately. I was hoping we were going to get a match or something made. So, we're moving on to Carmen and Ariana. can't have such an anchor. It was me, not you, said tag match for the main event. Haven't we already done that, though? So, Carmen Petrovic taking on Ariana Grace tonight. Should be a good, fun contest. That's going to be next, apparently. Right. Too bad NXT doesn't have a Money in the Bank, said Sis. RO could win and then get the title off Ego Boy. Brian said it's Charlie versus Trey on TNA on Thursday. They've announced, says Brian. Brony said, Daze, is it just me or does Ethan Page talk for ages but doesn't really say anything? I don't really know what that promo was, to be honest. I think that I feel like they agreed out back that they were going to say these things, and I think he knew he had time restraints, and it just sort of struck me like, okay, you do what you're doing, I've got this to say, and it was blah 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 blah, and it was all very monotone as well. Like, there wasn't pauses and dramatic, then, you know, exaggeration of certain phrases. It was like blah 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 blah. I mean, maybe part of it was that he wanted to be monotone because he wanted the crowd to be heard. It was the crowd that stole that promo, that segment, you know. The bit at the end is when he delivered a bit more punch, you know. I'm sure he can cut a promo. He's got fans. I can't believe he can't promo, but so I believe he can. I can only imagine we were trying to maybe showcase the audience there, because they were the ones that came through loud and clear. They were the ones you could hear with "Whoop that trick," "Not my champ," "You suck," "Boo." Like, we had a whole load of stuff coming from the crowd. So perhaps he thought, like, I'll stay flat. They can be the ones that get hurt. I'll just punch it at the end. Because his bits at the end were fine, weren't they? When he was saying about how the whoop that era is done. It's the ego era now. Like, the delivery of that was not flat. So, I don't know. I'm a bit confused as to what they were trying to achieve with it. But the crowd hijacked it, didn't they, really? I just assumed he was trying to ignore the crowd because of his ego, says Triton Cascades. Spartan Major said, I was watching Escape Pod on TV and the most comments I was seeing was nipple, and that was from William. I think that's the same with most streams, to be honest. I think that's the same. James said it was still better than any live promo. WrestleLandy said NXT is so good because we never really get spoilers. Think of the debuts and the shock wins we've had recently. If that was the main roster, we would know it all beforehand. That's true, actually. That's a good point. It was me, not you, said Daze, maybe a three-way to get Ethan next week, and maybe Joe Hendry comes out to confront Ethan at the end. I don't know. I mean, I don't know Joe Hendry, so I don't know if there's a history there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Are we really going to have Joe Hendry go after the NXT title? I mean, I'm sure we could. I wouldn't expect him to win. We had Jordan Grace go after the women's. Joe Hendry is certainly popular enough, so we could go down those roads. But I don't know if there's like a reason, like a backstory or anything like that. But then there wasn't one for Jordan, was there, either, and Roxanne? It was just a bit of an open challenge type situation, wasn't it? The problem with this is that you've got Trick sniffing around, you've got Sean sniffing around, you've got Javon sniffing around. So how do you inject Joe Hendry and get him ahead of all of those people? Don't know. Don't know. James said Trick is well loved by that NXT crowd. Whoever took the title, they would be against them. Oh, definitely, definitely. But Ethan's positioned as a heel. You know, he's very ego and arrogant, and you know he's trying to get those reactions. It's you know, if you're a heel, you want to be hated, don't you? The worst reaction you can have as a wrestler is no reaction at all. That is the worst reaction. And he's trying to, you know, wind the crowd up And it's working. I mean, he is hated. He is getting heat, and that is exactly what he is trying to get. Nita Nitro said, it goes back to my point earlier. They do need a strong lead-in promo class. Someone that can pull something out of them. Liv will cheat to win the first match, and Rhea will beat her bloody during the Bad Blood PLE. Ben said Ethan Page waffling. Spartan said Ethan isn't bad. Brony said, I'm confident Rhea will get her back, but I do think Dom is going to turn on Rhea at SummerSlam, and Liv will probably win. I can't see Rhea not being champ soon, though, because she's a massive star. James said he's not called all ego for nothing. He's showing that. Right, here we go then. We've got our first segment done, and we're moving on to Carmen taking on Ariana. Carmen against Ariana. Undertaker, one dead man show in Cleveland. So that is going to be on Saturday, August 1st. I think at 3rd. Is that the same day as SummerSlam? Okay, here we go then. We are about to get underway with Carmen against Ariana, and I don't think this is going to go well for Ariana. Aiden said, I'm enjoying NXT recently. Keep up the great work. Aiden, shout out to you, my friends. Yeah, when the show is hot and there's loads of talking points, then obviously it's super fun and easy to watch NXT and have loads to talk about. Right, Ariana was going for a slap there of Carmen. These two obviously teamed together on the kickoff show, countdown show. Slap there by Carmen. Ariana goes down. Ariana feeling the effects of that at the moment. Winding up, kick to the midsection. And again, stepping over. But, oh, that was good by Carmen. She stepped over and then, like a backwards kick, here's JC and Jasmine. JC and Jasmine are making their way down to the ring. JC, Jane, and Jasmine. Lovely. So these two have come down. I'm sure they're going to make their presence felt. Sis said if wrestlers can't handle the NXT crowds, they will be eaten alive on the main roster. They need to learn crowd control and presentation, said Sis. James said that Chelsea Green press conference with no one there was hilarious. I think I've got that in the folder for later. Yeah, I was going to try and do a bit of an unseen. There's been a few interesting bits. I feel like one of the biggest talking points over the last 24 hours was that look from Liv. And we haven't had a chance to dig into that, unfortunately. Right now we've got Carmen getting up. I agree that Chelsea press conference was really fun. She's very good when it comes to social media. If they do social media slammy next year, she's got to be in the running again, you know. Over in the corner goes Carmen, backwards kick. Ariana Grace goes down. Carmen grabs her. Face first, no. Back elbow there by Ariana Grace. Ariana Grace is perched. Oh, I like that. She moved her leg over. The leg came back and ended up kicking Carmen in the face. Leg sweep. Ariana manages to dodge the first one, but she goes down on the second. Kick to the back. Ariana Grace down. 2, 3, and there we go. It is a win for Carmen Petrovic. Not much to that one. And JC and Jasmine watching on in the entranceway. And it's Fallon from behind. Fallon Henley attacks Carmen Petrovic from behind. And she's throwing in some big shots right now. So Fallon Henley attacking Carmen Petrovic after this match. So is she working with JC and Jasmine? Because that was quite the distraction. Kick there by Fallon. Fallon's been in NXT for quite a while now. If you've never seen Fallon's impression of Tiffany Stratton, it's one of the best, funniest moments. She did a fantastic impression of Tiffany. So, there we go. And we go, oh, here's the meeting. Here's the meeting with Brooks. Your actions have been out of line. I want to apologize. I got lost. I got out of control. Okay, so he wants to take back what he did. Does he mean it? I think he looks good with a bit of a longer beard and, like, longer hair. I'm going to be honest, Brooks. We were ready to release you. He's got a second chance. You won't regret it, says Brooks. Where are we going? You're a WWE superstar all of the time. He said, this is my life. I'm going to make an impact. Handshake. Okay. Didn't really go anywhere. Other than we were going to release you, but we're not going to. Please be better. And he was like, I will. And then they shook hands, and now we've got a Money in the Bank graphic. So there we go. Right now I'm 50-50 on who will win between Liv and Rhea, said AKF. I've got a feeling that Dom will turn on Rhea because Liv gave in something that Rhea couldn't, and that was a win over Ray, says AKF. Sis said, I blink and I missed that last match. It did not go well. Well, at least I don't think it went well. Gonna make an impact, says James. Eyes emoji. Is he on his way over there? Has he been over there already? I don't know. Perhaps he is gonna make his way over there. You represent WWE all the time. 12, 7, 3. So that got a good 93% score. Good 93. It was a win for Carmen. What did Brooke Jensen's do? This is my first time watching. Nothing really. He used to be in a tag team, and then we saw him a couple of times, largely on NXT Level Up. He had a great gimmick where he was doing this throwback gimmick. Like, he really looked in his white tights and his social media account and everything like a throwback to like the 1980s. And he would put old promos up and talk about old wrestlers. And, you know, he had kind of very basic ring gear, and he just sort of looked like, with his facial hair and his long hair, you know, he could be like Magnum TA, you know. He definitely was someone that I think I was really excited for the direction he was going. And then all of a sudden he started to post these videos of him drinking, and it was just like a bottle of spirits, like, you know, bottle of whiskey half empty, and then it would be like some beers. And then it would be him going to the shop buying more beers. And then all of a sudden he started showing up on NXT trying to get at Vic Joseph. And like security would be dragging him away. There was one a few weeks back where literally there's a promo happening and all the crowd are like looking over in the corner. And you've got Brooks Jensen, who's like really, really trying to get at the commentators, right? And like he's got this security. It's not like commentators have just like got one hand on his chest and like holding him back. He's on the floor, like crawling, like trying desperately as he's being dragged away. Like, they did a fantastic job of really blurring the lines where people were like, is this real? Like, what? Who is this guy? Why is he trying to like invade the show each week? And it really came out of nowhere. And you know, now they've said, let's do this meeting. And so he has now said that he's kind of lost himself and he's going to do better. And I don't know. I mean, look, they're trying something with him to try and get people talking about him, and where it ultimately leads, I don't know. I'm guessing that the kind of throwback gimmick has now been abandoned, which is a bit of a shame because I was really excited for that. I thought there was some legs to that, but well, we'll see what comes of this. Right, we're in the ring, and we've got the Riz. Oh my God, the Riz. And we've got Tony. It's going to be Heritage Cup time. Is Tony going to defend it? Because sometimes we do get that different people defending malarkey. I mean, it looks like it's going to be Tony. Okay, Lexis King is in the ring. The people love the King, says Lexis King. Right, we got Tony over the other side. There's the Riz. The Dom. Tony D'Angelo. Do you think we get a Howdy figure announced at Comic-Con, says Paul? I don't know, to be honest. I think they should announce one, even if it's just we're working on this at the moment. So I think they should announce one. Whether we will get one announced is a different thing, because it takes 12 months to make a figure. And we only saw Howdy for the first time less than a month ago. So they may have computer-generated kind of mock-ups that they could show us. But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be expecting a prototype. I wouldn't be expecting the actual figure. Because I think even Mattel will have only seen Howdy for the first time when we did. Because, you know, you really don't want that stuff leaking out. And the more people know, the more chance of a leak. So I feel like Mattel will likely have seen it when we saw it. Unless they sent one picture and said, if this gets out, you're in flipping big trouble. I could understand Mattel wanting that, you know. Here's one image. We're going to post it to you. Actually, come and collect it. We're not even going to run the risk of posting it. And, you know, could they have sent it them a month earlier or something? But I'm going to say probably not. It's probably that Mattel saw it when we saw it. And then you got to wait 12 months after that, so... could we get a computer-generated image of, like, this is what we're working on, yeah? What we might get is the OG Howdy from 2022. We never got that. They could have started working on that, you know, ages ago. Like the 2022 Howdy, but he ain't gonna look quite like the one we've got now, is he? Because there's been changes. The dreads in particular, you know? The Bray glove. He didn't have those last time. So I'm very interested to see what we get, to be honest. Arm drag there by Tony. Tony keeping Lexis King down. William said, crowd is into this match way more than I am. Nita Nitro says, give me Graves back in the ring. Matta said, Mattel, sign an NDA. Yeah, they could have them sign an NDA, but even with that, you do run the risk, I mean, of it leaking. And I don't know how much WWE would want to take that risk, to be honest. I mean, there's probably nothing in the agreement that says they have to do that. They haven't historically done that. This is why figures come out a year after, you know, they've actually debuted. This is why when you get the WrestleMania figures for 2024, some of them will be wearing their 2023 attires, and that's the first time they've come in the line because it takes about 12 months. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Oh, takedown. Lovely. And trying to turn him over. We only got 15 seconds left in round number 1. Daze, how are you? I'm not in Wales. It got cancelled. I packed for nothing and I can't get my money back. My ticket was 84 down. I'm fuming. Why? What? Hey? What? Why? Why did it get cancelled, Edwards? And why can't you get a refund if it was cancelled? What's that about? Right, we've got Eddie Thorpe playing some DJ music. Eddie Thorpe is DJing away. Eddie Thorpe has been DJing in Orlando. So he's playing some tunes in between the rounds. Okay. So Eddie Thorpe bringing some music in between these rounds. It has distracted Lexis King. There was no fall at the end of that first round. Nice suplex there by Tony. Going for the cover. Oh, gets it. Gets it. That's a weird way to get a... I do find with these NXT Heritage Cup matches that things that absolutely, definitely would not result in a pinfall in a normal match get a pinfall in this match. That was just a very simple move and it kept him down for 3. That's strange. So, well, Tony takes the leads. Days of Mattel made a Days Retro. Which body type would you get? Like maybe Jake the Snake. Oh, what, like an old Hasbro? Oh, I don't know, mate. Definitely not the jumping one because I always hated the jumping ones. The ones where you push the back down and they just sort of... I never liked those. I do like the punching action. Or there was the one where you twist the body and you get like the clothesline. That was always quite good. I didn't mind those. Not the, you know, the Boss Man and Akeem where you pull the body back and then they just kind of shoot forward. That's like a headbutt kind of shoulder tackle type movement, isn't it? I wouldn't want that one. It would definitely be the twisty body clothesline or the arm. And not the jumpy one, because that sucked. Oh, and I hated the head punch one. Ric Flair had that. Where the arm was like this, and then the other one you went. So you could put the head in there, but it never quite fitted. And then this hand went. Not that one either. Because the figure is always stuck in this position. How are you meant to wrestle with the... I mean, you can kind of have that arm go up there, like, but... I don't know, it was too limiting, that one. Yeah. That's bro. Good figures, then. James said, what if all this is actually leading to that old gimmick that he's gone through the lows, now he's rebuilding, and then he discovers his love for old school wrestling, and then he starts imitating? It's just a random thought. I'd be down for that. I really would, James, because I really liked that idea, and I like that gimmick, and I think there's a lot of... I think wrestling fans love to find Easter eggs, right? That's no surprise. Looking in the background. Things like, as we said, the Kalani and Soul match having a little sequence that's exactly the same as some from Osprey and Ricochet. That's really cool. There's that one as well, isn't there? Was it Alexa and Bianca did like a whole sequence that was exactly the same as a sequence from like Scream or Scary Movie. And people have played that footage and played the scene from Scary Movie, and it's exactly the same. People love that stuff, love it. So I sort of feel like if he was to cut promos and put in certain lines from classic promos, I feel like wrestling fans would love to go, oh, you do know that was from the Royal Rumble Jake the Snake promo. Oh, did you? That was the Dusty Rhodes Hard Time promo that he referenced. And I feel like wrestling fans would love to make those connections. And it's such an easy thing to do. Just put like key lines from old classic promos in, and wrestling fans, I think, would enjoy. You can see it, can't you, on social media? There's Brooks Jensen saying it. There's the original promo of the person saying it. And I can just see people enjoying sharing that, and you know, it being something that has got like an extra layer of engagement. And even in his matches, do some sequences from classic matches. Have a look at classic matches and what they did, and then, you know, put some of them in your matches. And again, here's Brooks doing this. Here's a classic match. Here's Ric Flair. You know, maybe he does like the Ric Flair spot where, you know, he goes head first into the corner, flips over the top on the outside, clothesline goes down, maybe comes forward, face plants, and we all go, oh, that's the Ric Flair spot, man. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe it wears thin a little, but I feel like you could get some mileage out of it. So for a developmental talent, it's a decent starting point, isn't it? This thing has gone 1-1, and the crowd ain't fussed, man. The crowd are not that bothered. Eddie Thorpe is playing his music, and I don't think people are that impressed with that either. Right, here we go. We're underway. This is going to be the deciding fall. If you've never seen one of these matches, the round ends when someone gets a fall, and it's the first person to get to 2 falls. We can go 6 rounds. So we're in round 4, and we can go 6 rounds. So you're looking for a pinfall, looking for a submission. There's a big clothesline there by Tony. DQ immediately ends the whole thing, though. If you get disqualified, it's completely done. Tony is over in the corner. The crowd are cheering for Tony. They really like that. Shot coming in by Tony. This is where I think the match really starts, to be honest. Now that it's 1-1, it sort of feels like, obviously, the next fall is the fall. And we're not going to see some of those silly falls where people get put away by just really simple things. Tony has got Lexis against the ropes. Lexis lands on his feet, drives Tony into the corner, rolls him up. 1, 2, and kick out. I was surprised he didn't grab the tights there. But again, if you get disqualified, back elbow, you can get in trouble. Edward said it was cancelled because my family have got the house the way they want it for us, so they cancelled last minute, but I was getting the bus, so my ticket for the bus, I can't get a refund. That's a real shame, dude. That's a real shame. I could imagine you being very frustrated. Oh, shoulder up there by Tony. We've got Ruca on the outside. Can you not get your ticket transferred? Is that an option? He's got him up. No. Inside cradle. 1, 2. No. No joy. Oh, super kick there by Lexis. Tony in the center. We've got about 45 seconds to go. Round the houses. Picks up. Oh, spine buster. Lexis King down. 2. Tony wins. Tony gets it. Tony gets it. Let's get match scores. So there we go. Tony D'Angelo picks up the win, and Eddie Thorpe spinning the tunes once again. Boom. Does Lexis King go to the barber and tell him to do the most random thing ever on his beards? I think he goes to the same barber. I'm sure I heard he goes to the same barber as Carmelo. It's not as... It's a little bit more natural coloured. Like, it's a lot more closer to the colour of his actual hair here. So it actually doesn't look that bad. Well, I've seen it before where it's like jet black and it looks really strange. Hello, we're backstage. We're backstage. Look at this. Brooks Jensen attacking Javon Evans. Brooks Jensen is Briggs. I'm trying to make an impact, said Brooks. Brooks attacks Javon Evans and he says, I'm trying to make an impact. He's got this all wrong, isn't he? He's got this all wrong. Okay, we've got State Farm Arena. I haven't actually watched this yet, you know. October 5th. Atlanta. Return of a classic. Bad Blood. Saturday, October. Oh, I need to put that in my diary, actually. Guys, I've got to put this in my diary. When was it? October 5th. What was it? Taylor Swift. Bad Blood live stream. Guys, it's in. Do you know what that means? It means we're doing it. We're doing it. Let's flip in, go. WWE Bad Blood predictions. And I'm doing predictions as well. Turns out I'm doing them the Sunday before. That's what my diary says. Let's flip in, go. We've got UFC this weekend. We're doing Thug Rose taking on, I think, is it Tracy Cortez? That changed. It was going to be Macy Barber, but she had to pull out. We got Jake Paul the week after that, but I don't know if that's true anymore. Is that true? Jake Paul against Mike Perry. And we've got UFC 304 the week after that. And then it's SummerSlam. God, why can't we have wrestling every weekend? Do you know what I mean? I do want to watch the Thug Rose fight this weekend, actually. But I'd take a wrestling show. You know? UFC 304 should be good. That's going to come from the UK. So that should be good. I'm all right with missing Jake Paul. But, you know, it is what it is. Daze could listen to Taylor Swift all day that day. I think I will, mate. Yeah, I think I will. Johnny said, Daze, that will be my first ever Bad Blood show to watch, says Johnny. James said, Edward, he's got a restraining order against you. I do have a restraining order against you, Edward. Edward said, can I come to your... The restraining order, it won't let you within 5 miles of me at any one time. So, in fact, I don't even know if you're allowed on the stream, actually. I think you're all right to be on the stream, but I will have to reread it. Josh said, the even greater than the last Royal Rumble in Saudi is in between. The 100-person intergender Rumble with Goldberg on commentary. I might skip that. September is Bash at Berlin, said Zach. Zach, hang on, I'll have a look. Let me look at my diary. Zach, give me 1 second. Bash in Berlin is the 31st of August. 31st of August, that's what my diary says. If Trick has no partner, all he has to do is say his name. What, say Trick? Does another Trick arrive? Johnny said, I wish Devotion Championship Wrestling every weekend. I wish Devotion Championship, but sadly it's just not. I'm waiting for the next show in August. Don't forget we have AEW Blood and Guts. I don't know what that means. Do you see Wendy Chu challenging Roxanne for the NXT Women's Championship? Yeah, well, I don't know if it'll be Roxanne, but I could see Wendy Chu challenging for it, yes. When is the Wrestling Daze Network starting? This is it right now. Here we go, look, we've got Thea. What a performance at Heatwave. I think you're ready for another pop, Thea. She's very excited by that. This is new gear that she's got on. I think you're ready for Roxanne. I don't think she's ready for Roxanne. Thea's very excited at the news that she might be ready for Roxanne. I've got you a North American Championship match against Obafemi. Yeah. I don't know how Duke Hudson feels about this news. So Thea's very excited at the thought that she's going to beat Roxanne. She's not going to beat Roxanne. And Duke is not excited at the thought that he's going to get murdered by Oba. And he will get murdered by Oba. Right, Gallus, they were making their way down to the ring. But there's been a big brawl. There's been a big attack. So Tyson and Tyreek have started going after these, jumping them, which is probably a wise strategy in all fairness. 63, 26, 7 and 2. Boom, comes crashing down. I think was that on top of Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey in the ring. Bell has sounded, and we are underway. Tony versus Lexus we just had. Right now we've got Tyson and Tyreek taking on the Gallus boys. Gallus boys on top. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Getting all confused. Like an old woman. Tyreek versus Gallus boys. Gallus boys on top. Okay, lovely. I just realised that a crunchy is only 149 calories, said Wrestle Andy. Breaking news. We've got some breaking news. Is it Gallas or Gallus? I don't know. Titty. Tyson and Tyreek. TT. Daze, are you ready for Oba? Oh, I'm not fighting him, am I? I'm sorry, what? I would love Thea to win, although Thea is a better wrestler, said Andrew. Sis said, are they wrestling with Timberland boots? They've come to brawl and stomp them out. They are wrestling with Timberland boots on, yes. They are. Room temperature water sucks, says William. That's breaking news. Right, where are we? We're 50 minutes in, so we've got an hour and 10 minutes left to go. Hour and 10. As there's a slam down. Obviously, a lot of excitement about this show, and there was teases of Joe Hendry and whatnot. So I'm fairly confident we're going to get something big in the second hour. Daze, that restraining order must be real as you removed me off TikTok. Yes. Now, I went on TikTok and I was following about 5 people. I had loads of requests for friend following. And I was like, I probably just need to clean this up a little bit. So I just unfollowed everyone, all 5 people that I was following. Because I thought, either follow everyone like I do on Twitter, or because I'll follow anyone that wants me to follow them on Twitter. But to be honest, TikTok, I just don't use it. I post on there and then I get off there. I don't really look around or anything, so it's all or nothing with me. Although, do you know, annoyingly, I follow one person and I don't know who it is. If you click on it, it doesn't tell me who it is. So I don't even know who I'm following on TikTok anymore. I don't know if everyone is following TikTok or something. I don't know. But, I don't know. It was a bit of a glitch. It wouldn't show. Perhaps it's the Chinese government. Perhaps I have to follow the Chinese government. Roll over there by Wolfgang, and it looks like the Gallus are going to get the win. There's really not much chance of getting into matches. That was like a million miles an hour and quite short. Right. Let's have a look and see. Edward said, I'll go check. Yeah, I'm following one person, and I don't know who it is. And if I knew who it was, I'd unfollow them as well. It's all or nothing with me. Let me have a look. So, Gallus pick up the victory. Hey. It says you don't have anyone. Oh, I've got a 1 on screen. Here, look. See, it says following 1, but I ain't following anyone. Followers 6.8 thousand. Following 1. I can't figure out. I don't know who that one is. Whoever you are, I hate you. I hate you. Because it's all or nothing. And at the moment, that's just not true. Joe Hendry flashed up on the screen momentarily. And there was quite the reaction from the NXT fans, you know, there. It's very strange to me because with Ethan Page, he is getting pooped on, right? And maybe it's because of him taking the belt off Trick, yeah? But flash up Joe Hendry and you get this big, like, excitement. So it's not like the NXT fans are just hating anyone that's outside of the NXT bubble. These outsiders. It's probably just to do with the fact that I think Joe Hendry's a face. And, you know, a meme. And maybe some of these other people are not. And maybe that's the difference. But quite the reaction there as his face was shown. How come you're not breaking down the Joe Hendry flashes the way you break down the Wyatt Six stuff? I feel a little bias here. I don't think there's much to break down, is there? I might struggle to break down the Wyatt Six stuff if they were that short. If it was just Uncle Howdy doing that. I mean, we could still do half an hour on it. Do you think the speed that he turns his head, do you reckon that's a number? And actually, if we go back and count all of the seconds, we could get like a code that we could then put into a decimal to text decoder that will give us a message. Yeah, we could still do half an hour on it. I don't use TikTok, said Johnny. Some of the videos aren't bad, but I know why. I mean, I don't want to make videos, said Johnny. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, TikTok, I think, this, you know, it's very popular, and TikTok actually opened my eyes in the sense of, I went on TikTok, and the algorithm was like, here's a dude that loves trains, and I watched him, and he was like, join me as I look at the, you know, I'm sure you've seen that dude. He's like, join me as I'm here, and his presentation style is a little wooden, right? But he's like a train spotter. So, you know, I don't think he is, you know, the most charismatic. But he seems like a lovely person. And he really loves trains. And he's very knowledgeable about trains. And he's like, he gets really excited about them. And I've seen him on, like, TV shows in the UK because his account has just exploded. People just love this guy because he's, I don't know, there's something about seeing someone that's really passionate about something. Like, this is what he was here for. This guy was born to do what he's doing. Like, and there's something really cool about that, you know? So I love that guy. And I got recommended that. I got recommended a woman that saved bees. And she was like, I'm just here to save the bees. And she was moving stuff. And these bees were everywhere. And with her hand, she was just moving them out the way. These bees. And, like, she didn't care because, like, she's just one with the bees. And I'm like, this is mental. This is mental. And then I think I saw a dude singing a song about a petrol station. And I watched it for a bit, you know, TikTok. And I was like, do you know what? Coming away from it, I felt good. I felt like I'd been entertained or I'd been informed or, do you know what I mean? I felt good. I really rarely feel that way about Twitter. Well, or at least I used to not feel that way. I feel a lot better about it now. I use Twitter a much different way now. I've said before, really focus on your notifications, focus on lists, cut out all the stuff that you don't want to see. You can cut out the stuff you don't want to see quite easily. If I put up, say, a controversial take or something, and I really don't want my notifications full of people going, "You're an idiot, what you're on about," right? Because if I say something, I know why I'm saying it, right? Just mute the conversation. That way you don't even see the replies. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's all these tools that actually make Twitter better. That way you can still share your opinion. People can still respond to it, but your notifications just don't get clogged up with all this stuff anymore. So muting conversations and like, you know, not engaging with people that are just full of negativity and all that stuff, like, it's just made it a much more enjoyable platform. So, but I don't have time to be going on TikTok, but it has resulted in me enjoying social media more. It showed me that social media, it can be okay, actually. There is a place in the world for it. Wesley is in the ring. Wrestle Andy said Wesley is about to announce his 2025 retirement tour. He looks emosh. Wesley. I love that ginger, kids. He's there every week. Nope. I went into Heatwave believing I could beat Obafemi. Well, you're an idiot then, aren't you? You saw what happened. You got murked. Obafemi was the better man. The match wasn't the only thing I put my everything into. My goal was to beat the unbeatable. Is Oba going to come down and say, "You are a brilliant competitor," or something like this? I visualized it. My arm being raised. He wanted to raise that belt as the king of the West Side. His top says, "Find yourself." It's not how it happens. Wesley to TNA said, "Erase your minds." Hope everyone's doing well, said Albert. Hello, Albert. I don't know where to go from here. I was just about to say, where are we going from here? This is different. I've been here before, but this is different. I've had a hell of a run. Oh, look, people are like getting a bit worried. He's not wearing salmon. Is Oba going to come out? I feel like Oba might come out. Please don't go. Please don't go. Please don't go. Wesley has definitely got something to offer to NXT. Definitely. Think it's time for me. Think it's time for me. People are like, no. No, 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 no. That little girl wasn't. She doesn't care. That little girl wasn't. That little girl was just like, oh, hello, what's this? This is the Rascals. The Rascals. They are from TNA. And isn't that his old MSK partner? Holy chance. Is he going to join up with them? TNA chant. Yeah, his old tag partner in the Rascals. Am I right? What are we doing here? What are you doing here? No, what are you doing here? We don't want to see Wesley go. MSK is back. I can't believe we're here. Was he going to join back up with them? He was a tag team guy and then he broke away. And now is he going back to being a tag team guy? Welcome back, Chance. I've missed you so damn much. I'm extremely proud of the men that you two have become. This is about you. You're the greatest North American champion ever. So are they gonna G him up? The two of you are the best tag team to step foot in this building. I think it's time we get MSK back together. I think it's time the Rascals wreck shop around here. What's happening here? Is he joining up with them and they're going to stick around? They do this thing? That happened? They just did that? And now they all, like, embrace? Well, there we go. Those three are the New Day. Will they still be in WWE? Yeah, I think so. Perhaps they'll be on both. I don't think we've signed them or anything. I think we just borrowed them a little bit. I can hear a Rascals chant still as we're looking at Sean and Ethan. So, well, there we go. Big development. Big development. I wasn't sure we would be seeing Trey again. Should be interesting, says Albert. Chase U versus Rascals would be a dream match, said Basti. They did the little Rascals wave, said K-Dub. They did the little Rascals wave. Which one is, was it Alfalfa? Representing Chase U. Thea Hale. Who's she facing? Is she facing Roxanne tonight? Izzy Dame she's taking on. Thea Hale taking on Izzy Dame. On August 3rd. SummerSlam. Right, Thea Hale against Izzy Dame. Lovely. The little thing under the chin is called a high sign that all the little Rascals do in the He-Man Women Hater Club. Good to know. Thank you. Brony said, Daze, who's more likely to win a world title, Logan Paul or Carmelo Hayes? It's an excellent question. I feel like Carmelo can get there. The question is, would they do that for Logan? I feel like Logan has done everything that's been asked of him. And I think if he wanted it, and really wanted it, and it was something that he really did want, and he kept going on at Triple H, I think eventually they would probably buckle. I don't think they'd have him beat Cody, but that other belt that, you know, is on Damian and, you know, and you could see Logan potentially getting his hands on that at some point, so... More likely, I think I'm going to say Carmelo, because I feel good that he'll get to a world title at some point. Logan, have they given him the mid-card belt? And that's as far as they're willing to go, because they don't want a David Arquette type moment, you know? You could get a backlash if you put that on a celebrity. But then they're working hard to kind of tell you he's not just a celebrity, he's an out-and-out wrestler now. So that if they do pull that trigger, it might not come across that way. So I'm going to lean towards Carmelo being more likely. But the big question is, would they do it? Would they pull the trigger on Logan? Daze, I don't know if there's been a changing of the guards or if higher-ups have told HBK to be tighter, but NXT has dropped a lot of those unique skits that differentiate from main roster, says Big Time. Yeah, maybe they have toned those down. Yeah, I can see that. Roll Tide Insider 2 said WWE Tokyo PLE very soon. Logan Paul can't be in it. Dead Fighter said we want Joe Hendry, we believe. SQRL13 said Logan needs to be an actual full-time wrestler. A part-time mid-carder is a bit weird. Albert said Logan just does the same moves over and over. Madeira said, I believe in O.J. Simpson. Do you, Madeira? That is a big confession. I called the Rascals reunion months ago. I know my shiz, says James. Andrew said Trick can't find a partner, so he says, let me see if this really works. He'll say the name and then enter Joe Hendry, says Andrew. Big Guy said no, he isn't. He never will be. He's just a glorified celeb. Roll Tide Insider 2, shout out to you, my friends. Charles Wade said if Logan really wanted to win the world title and kept working, Triple H would give it to him. Jim said Logan Paul plus celebrity equals does not compute. Eric said we want Daze and Tommy to run TNA live streams. I think we would just get in each other's way, to be honest. Here we've got Izzy Dame making her way down. Sis said, is it true WWE is finally going to introduce 2 mid-card women's titles? What I've heard from Wrestling Observer Fightful is that they looked into it and it is being looked into. So I don't know that the belts are 100% coming in. They're done. They're agreed. They've made them. I don't know that we've got that far, but there is definitely noise. Yes. So that's a dub for whoever that flipping account was. That was it PWN or something? PWN or someone? I think it was PWN. They're the ones that I think I saw reporting it first. People were tagging me in that. I'm just looking to see if it is them because I don't want to give credit to people that shouldn't be getting it. Yes. Hashtag PWN are the ones that I think reported it first. And then people have looked into it and it turns out to be legit. So I would say this PWN, I mean, to my knowledge, is 1 for 1. I don't know if they've been getting tons wrong, but I've seen them take a shot once and land it. So they're definitely someone which I think you can keep an eye on. It's just at and then the word hashtag and then the letters PWN. Kick coming in there by Izzy Dane. Daze, what are we going to do when TNA and NXT have a pay-per-view with each other? Well, I will do it. I mean, I guess we'll do it. I guess that Tommy will do it. And that will be no dramas. I can't imagine that they'll do multiple. I mean, there'll be one, you know? And I would imagine the people that enjoy watching and joining Tommy on his can still join him on his. And I'm sure they'll pop in and join us for times on here. I mean, I don't think it's a drama. I think I mean, like, I don't know if it'd be a problem if it was like an everyday kind of a situation, but for like a stream like that, I mean, I don't have no issue with it. I ain't got no clearly, you know. So I think he can, if anything, I think it would provide quite an interesting juxtaposition, if that's the right word, because he is looking at it probably more from a TNA point of view, and I'm looking at it from an NXT point of view, because I ain't going to be able to tell you anything about TNA. So, you know, I can give you the NXT perspective, and I would imagine he can give you the TNA perspective. So, yeah. And it does feel like that's a direction that we are likely heading in, to be honest. Boom! Tatum Paxley getting involved. Thea Hale going through the ropes. Landing on top of Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame getting thrown into the ring. Thea Hale is climbing up. She is perched. Big crossbody. Lands on top of Izzy Dame. Down goes Izzy Dame. Boom! Lovely work by Thea Hale. Nice kick coming in. Against the ropes goes Thea. Swinging net breaker. Swinging net breaker. And Thea goes over. Works on the arm there of Izzy Dame. She goes up. She goes down. We've got Izzy Dame on top. She's got the Kimura in. Well, I tell you what, this is a real problem for Izzy Dame, who taps. Wow. Thea Hale taps out Izzy Dame. Wow, that's a big win for her. But, of course, we did have Tatum Paxley providing that distraction. Oh, well, that was unexpected. So, Thea Hale getting the win over Izzy Dame, who I would say is further along, to be honest. I would say that she's bigger. She's had some really good wins. But they have done a good job of putting that Kimura over for Thea. Oh, is that Oba? There's Oba. Your new friend must really like you. You'll quickly realize that was a big mistake. I'm going to destroy you. The man that has the attention of Trish Stratus. The man that tore the roof off in Toronto. He did do well, actually. Duke Hudson, I thought, did well in that match. So he's getting fired up. It'll be my pleasure to rip that championship away from you. How long has he been in Chase-U? Feel like it was, I don't know, some point in Thea Hale, crotch chop. Okay, so what are we going to call them? The Rascals? Anything can happen in NXT. Oh, here's Gallus boys. I bet the internet is loving this. Yeah, what do we call them? Okay, so if it's just the two of them, it's MSK. If it's all three of them, it's the Rascals. So they mentioned the phony Scott, and then they were like, don't say his name. So they're teasing Joe Hendry. Okay, here we have got OTM. You want to come after us? You're going to get this work. Gonna make it work. Ah, Jada, man. Here we go then. OTM making their way out with Jada Parker. OTM. I don't know who they're taking on. Right, let's end the poll. They've teased Joe Hendry so much. I hope he does show, said Mitchell. Yes. I think he will. I'll be stunned if he doesn't. Certainly considering they showed him at the end of Heatwave as well. I reckon there'd be people just tuning in just to see him, you know. Thea Hale picking up that win. OTM match coming up next. Jada Parker. NXT has a stronger tag division than the main roster, said Sis. Crazy. Jada is so good, said K-Dub. And Dominic the Writer said Jada's got some serious potential. How do we feel that Chase U will do on their main roster? I think they'll do well. I could see them. There's, you know, they're a bit Alpha Academy-ish, but they're fun. I know Alpha Academy had a little bit of fun, but I think this is even more fun. I think they would do well. I think there's probably a space for them on the main roster. I don't know if this is the vehicle that gets Duke Hudson there. I think it's the vehicle that gets Andre Chase there. Is it the vehicle that gets Riley Osborne to the main roster or Thea Hale to the main roster? Or, I don't know, do we sort of abandon it or change it or break them apart or... I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, they're mainly a tag team with Thea Hale, and then you've got Riley, who I really think could break out, but then Duke could break out as well. So I think there's some real potential there. I think you've got some real options. You can go after the tag division, mid-card belts, women's belt, faction war with flipping Final Testament. You can have them play it straight and serious. You can have them be fun. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Chase U. Shame Ethan's a heel, said Jim. A North reunion would be cool. Did Joe Hendry come out yet, said JJJ Productions. No. No. I want to see Rowan and Loomis or Gacy and Loomis as a tag team. Dallas Cowboys fan said, this is my first time actually watching NXT. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope that it is living up to the expectation for you. Andrew said we got another wardrobe malfunction. Did we, Andrew? Did we? Are you sure? Are you sure you weren't just hoping that we got another wardrobe malfunction? Or did we get an actual wardrobe I'm on the internet right now, Andrew. I'm on the internet. I'm looking wardrobe malfunction. I'm having a look now, mate. I'm all over this. I think it's very important that... Oh, actually, do you know what? I didn't think about how bad of an idea it was to type wardrobe malfunction into Twitter. Yeah. That is a lot of dongs and a lot of vagines. Let's go... Let's just go NXT... a few Kalanis. I don't think there's anything else though. I think you dreamed it. I think you dreamed it. It's one of those, if you manifest it, then you kind of hope that it will happen situations, I think. Right. But Brony, it is okay if you see something. It's kind of hard to not spoil it. Jim said, I hope there is a Roxy segment being interrupted by Cora Jades. C-Dubs said, thanks for putting my tweet in the White Six video. I was the one that showed Uncle Howdy's wrestling attire. Thank you for tagging me in it. It's a bit of a lottery, really. I mean, I do get tagged in a lot, and it's sort of like the first I see. So, yours was the first I saw, so congrats. But had you have not tagged me, it wouldn't have featured, so you should thank yourself, really. Okay, next week it'll be Brooks against Javon. Brooks said, I'm going alone. Briggs said, I'll handle that, but I want Sean Spears. There's Stevie in the background. Steps forwards. Trick needs a tag partner. Oh my God. At this point, just announce Joe Hendry. Here's Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Anderson making their way down. Corey said, I know that you searched that on purpose. I didn't actually, and now I'm on the verge of being banned. So, or maybe going on a register. Right, OTM against Good Brothers. I can't believe you have to say his name. I can't believe you have to say his name reference, says Daniel. Mitchell said, what are your thoughts on the Joe testicles news? I wasn't here earlier. If you did share your thoughts, can you give bullet points? I don't really have any. I don't know him. So I don't really have anything. I mean, he's a commentator that can commentate, that can come in and has a voice for commentary. He's used to calling action. But we've seen before that that's not actually a guarantee that you're going to succeed. We've had plenty of people that have come in that have come from like a commentating background where it hasn't quite worked. Because, you know, professional wrestling's unique. It's not about just selling the moments. You've got to tell the story as well, and I don't know, some people just don't seem to have it, whatever it is. But I don't know him. He might have it. He might be amazing. So we'll have to see, won't we? I wish TNA would go to the main roster, said Dallas Cowboy fan. Kim Strain said, is Joe Hendry going to do a customized video for his opponents? Kevin Age said, Liv and Rhea story is the reason why you don't stand up to bullies. At the end, you will be the bad guy. I don't know, to be honest. It's an interesting one because, you know, Liv just attacked Rhea after she had been attacked. But the problem was, people loved Rhea. I don't know if people love bullies in school. It's a very interesting dynamic. You know, Rhea was, she was sort of a face, really. When she attacked Liv, she was a heel. But she was getting massive cheers. She headlined Elimination Chamber, where she took on Nia, and she was the face. And people just really love Mommy and Dom, and they were really into it. So I think you can stand up for yourself at school. I would hate for the message to get out there, don't stand up for yourself, people will hate you if you do it. I don't think that's true. But Rhea was in a very unique position where people really liked her and still really like her. And love the whole mommy thing. Mommy and Dom, dirty Dom, and mommy's here, mommy's home, mommy's always on top, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I think by attacking Rhea, and then not just stopping there as well. It's one thing to take the belt away, but to go even further and actually be a bit psychotic and try to take Dom away and the Judgment Day away and just be really hell-bent on taking everything away from Rhea. I think line crossed. I think line crossed. At what point do you become the bad guy? And I think Liv became the bad guy. Has NXT done a good job of explaining who OTM are? Tyson, Tyreek, and Riley Osborne. There's a lot of names that are just really bad job at fleshing out characters and backstories. Well, I think we're still new with them all, to be honest. I don't know that any of them have really been around all that long. So, you know, OTM had scripts. We got rid of scripts. They put her with Jada. I expect them to be in NXT for the rest of this year, for the vast majority of next year. So I just feel like we're really getting started with these guys. Same with Riley, OTM. Who was the other one? Tyson Tyreek. The first time I saw Tyson Tyreek was only in flipping April when I went to a house show. Hello, is that Meechin? Meechin, come through the crowds. She's trying to get over towards Jada. We got some action on the outsides. We got half an hour left of the show. Big shot. Oh my God, that was great. Big shot there by Gallows. In the ring, we've got Carl Anderson, knee to the back. He goes down. Shot coming in. Right now, we got OTM in control. Picking him up, looking to plant them down. Is Gallows going to make the save? 1, 2, 3, and it's a win for OTM. It's a win. Let's go. OTM. OTM pick up the victory. Quite a surprise, really. That's a big win for them. Beating the Good Brothers clean. Okay, here's Fallon Henley. We all know it should have been me. Kalani Jordan, enjoy your title reign whilst it lasts. Here's Soul. When it's time for a rematch, I believe we'll get a different outcome. I want the world to see that I've put in the work, says Soul. Okay, so Ruca heading towards the ring. She's going to be in action. Sol Ruca. God, I mean, it is just match onto match onto match, isn't it? Very match heavy. How many matches have we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 6th match. And we've still got 28 minutes. So we're probably going to end on 7 matches this week, NXT. She's going to be taking on Fallon. Sol Ruca, always a fun to watch. James said, with this NXT NA partnership, it'll start it slow builds. If it's a success, which it's already for both sides, maybe the main roster, but no need to rush a good thing. Well, we'll have to wait and see. That's not something I'm personally expecting, but it's undeniable that Joe Hendry has got his supporters, and I do think that if we were to put Joe Hendry in the Royal Rumble, I would not be shocked. Or if we were to do like an Andre Battle Royal and we were to put Joe Hendry in there, I wouldn't be shocked. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, if you used to bring the Rascals out on the main roster, I really don't know what the reaction would be. Or if you used to bring Josh Alexander out, I don't know what the reaction would be. I don't know. I don't know. I could see Sol Ruca on the main roster. She is so amazing at what she does. Do you agree? Said Johnny. I think she's working her way towards that, but I think that you know, there's work to be done. She's got a good moveset, and she's obviously got amazing agility and innovation. But, you know, bringing the crowd into your matches, selling your matches, being put in different situations, different match types, you know, it's all a learning process. So, yeah, she's well on her way. I'm currently located, says Carmen Live 2. Here we go. In Gary, Indiana. I'm heading back to Hammond, Indiana. I'm no longer visiting Maryville and Crown Point, Indiana. Carmen Live 2, thank you, my friend. It's always good to know exactly where you are in the Indiana area. So, no longer visiting. Is that never again, Carmen Live 2? Never again will you go to Merrillville. That's it. It's done forever. So I'd say that's a big update, actually. You've mentioned that place quite a few times. People don't give WWE crowd enough credit, said James. Remember when people said AJ Styles would get crickets, but he had the biggest pop? James said, who gives a shiz? Albert said, I would like to see Dolph and The Miz tag up. Kim Strains said, maybe have TNA versus NXT match at Survivor Series. Rob said, Sol Ruca is nice. Aubrey said, what happened in Crown Point to never go back? What happened? People are interested. People are interested. What happens? Did you see Meltzer and Alvarez making fun of the Sol Ruca match? I didn't. I heard about it. Saying it was a gymnastics match. I didn't. I got told about it. Where in the world is Carmen Live 2 Diego? Said Corey. When is Nikita Lyons coming back? It's been a while. Don't know. She keeps getting injured, doesn't she? And they're long injuries. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. Once you've done like your ACLs and all that stuff, I mean, I suppose you can just keep doing them, can't you? It's probably not a good sign. I mean, look at how it derailed Tegan Knox. Oh, hello, what's this? Mistakes won't be tolerated. Everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes won't be tolerated. Is that Damon that they're... Mistakes won't be tolerated. Is Tavian. You guys do this often. Bye, Damien. Someone just said bye, Damien. Is that Ren? Oh, you've got to get her now. Put her in the boot. Nah, get her. She's in it. Put her in the boot. Ren Sinclair just saw something she shouldn't have seen. I'm sorry. Game over. Kevin Inch said, I can't wait for Roxanne Perez to get in the main roster. She is going to be a star. K-pop lover said, poor Carmen. He likes the Chicago Bears. Is this when we say bye for now to Damien? It's bye forever, I think, unfortunately. His contract expired, didn't it? And he's moved on to pastures new. Here's Fallon. Carmen said, Daze and everyone in the chat. Guys, we got an update. I'm now located in Griffith, Indiana. It's another city in Indiana that I've lived besides Gary, Highland, and Hammond, Indiana. That's not answering the question. Are you ever going back to Merrillville? Yes or no? That is the question, Carmen Live 2. Are you ever going back? That is the question. This is what everyone wants to know, because you said I am no longer visiting Merrillville and Crown Point. So is that they're dead to you now? They're done. They might as well shut those places down. We need updates. We need to know. Here's Fallon taking on Soul. We've got 20 minutes to go. Drop kick there by Soul. Bye forever, Damien, said Mr. B. Over against the ropes goes Soul Ruca. Over the top, lands on her feet. Boom! Face first goes Fallon. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Against the ropes goes Fallon. Jumps over the top. And again, against the ropes. Oh, boom! Kick to the midsection. Stomp there by Fallon. Another kick coming in. Right now, we've got Soul Ruca going into the corner. Boom! Into the corner again. Carmen Live says, hello, 1 minute wrestler with Jesse. The question. Are you a politician, Carmen Live? What's going on? What's going on? Are you dodging the big questions, eh? Against the ropes, down go both women as Fallon drives a knee into the arm of Soul Ruca, going for the cover. 2. Kick out. They can end this trash of a match and get to the main event, please. Thank you. Into the corner goes Fallon. Rolled up by Soul Ruca. Kick out. There's a let's go Soul chant. Kick coming in. Boom. Fallon going against the ropes. Nice kick as Soul goes down. She's going over for the cover. 2. Soul Ruca kicks out. Few boos could be heard there. I'm loving her. It's kind of cowgirl attire, isn't it, I suppose? It has got a little bit like Native American vibes to it. Like if you told me this was Lady Tatanka, I would believe you. If she came down going like, yee, and all of that. Sexy Tatanka. But that's not her gimmick. She's cowgirl. Sexy cowgirl. Here's Soul trying to get back up. Big Time said, when you look at the call-ups, Braun, Dragunov, Carmelo, Tiffany, Lyra, all doing well. Kiana, but when Charisma is missing, is something holding her back? Creative. Creative is holding her back. I feel like Kiana was probably the biggest surprise to come from... Well, her and Blair were the biggest surprises to come from NXT, and no surprise we ain't done much with either of them. I don't really know why we called them up. But we did. Doesn't seem like we had big plans for them. Soul Ruca in the middle of the ring. Fallon against the ropes. Boom. Down goes Soul. Going for the cover. 2. Soul kicks out. I didn't attend the tribute wrestling show for Chicagoland. N-Dub. Indiana wrestler. But Santana Starks at the Berwyn, Illinois Eagles Club because I watched Money in the Bank. Are we having different conversations? What the flip? Have I missed the bit where you told me about Merrillville and if you're ever going back again? Here we go. Speaking of AR Dub Pro, I might go to their event on Saturday. Says Carmen Live 2. Are you ever going back to Merrillville? It's a simple question. You should probably run for President of the United States because you're ability to avoid the hard-hitting questions. Oh, lovely. Soul Snatcher. Soul Snatcher connects. JC, Jasmine jump into the ring. This is what NXT Black and Gold were missing. Everyone's gimmick was they were a good wrestler with a normal name. Here we've got a surfer against a cowgirl. Oh, lovely kick there by Jasmine. So Fallon is down. Soul is down. So Soul Ruca with that Soul Snatcher. She was about to put Fallon away. Jasmine and JC coming to the rescue. So are these three a brand new faction? Is this the new Toxic Attraction? Fatal Attraction? Maybe they could call them that. Here's NXT Anonymous. 15 minutes left. One more match to go. Our main event. And I think we will all be surprised if there's no Joe Hendry. 64. 19, 11, and 4. Right now we've got Tate and Paxley talking to a doll, and then she throws the doll down. It was a Barbie and it didn't have a head. That Wendy. That felt like a Wendy moment, didn't it? Okay, Brooks is having a word in an office with Ava, Sean. Okay, main event tonight. Ethan Page, Sean Spears taking on Trick Williams. And, oh, I just don't know. It's probably going to have to be a handicap match. It's Wendy Choo Choo, said Johnny. Daze, there's a local wrestling promotion. Oh, God, don't you start. Don't you start. Tatum is awesome. R.I.P. Doll, said Callum. Maybe the 6 will bring the Paxley doll to life. Adam said she broke her head off. Right. By the time we actually get these entrances done, there ain't going to be loads of time for this match, is there? Daze and everyone in the chat. Here we go. Here we go. I'm back in Hammond, Indiana after visiting Merrillville. Gary and Griffiths. Okay. But are you ever... Is it me? I think it's me, innit? I think it's me. I think it's me. I thought I was talking English. I must not be. I must be talking some different language. I must be talking some language that only I understand. I don't know. Because I feel like I ask questions, and then the answers that come back have got nothing to do with the questions that I ask. Is it me? It must be me, mustn't it? It must be me. It must be me. I think I need a bit more sleep or something. Maybe, you know, I only had my 6 hours. That's it, innit? I only had my 6. I'm that hour missing. If I had that extra hour, then I would be able to formulate the sentences that I am I think what's happening is I'm thinking questions, but clearly what's coming out, what I'm hearing in my head is coming out as blah, 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 Indiana or whatever, right? So I get it now. It must be that I'm not able to vocalize what I'm thinking. I own this. I'm owning this. This one's on me. This one's on me. It's because I didn't get that extra hour. And I knew it. I knew when I woke up that I should have had another hour. But sometimes you just can't find a way of fitting it in, you know? So I would like to thank everyone for tolerating this stream, because honestly, when I watch it back, I'm going to be horrified. It's going to be literally 3 hours of me going blah, 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 blah. I'd imagine you lot are just like, what's he on about? What's he been saying? That's my bad. That is my bad. I have to start getting 7 hours sleep. William said, I like boobs. Could you sing a song about boobs? I might have already done that. I'm not sure. I don't know. There's a real disconnect going on at the moment between what I'm thinking, what I'm saying. So I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I'm really looking forward to watching this stream back, to be honest, tomorrow. After I've had some sleep, I'm really looking forward to watching this back. Right. 10 minutes. 10 minutes left to go. Johnny said, you're speaking English because English is the only language I can understand, but I do know how to say boobs in Spanish. It's El Boobes, isn't it? Isn't it El Boobes? It is now. Days, there's not enough sleep in the world that you would get to understand that shiz. Here we go, said Basti. Is halftime scores discontinued? We might have done them, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Right. Come on. Come on. Just come on. Let's get to this main event. Let's get Joe Hendry out there. Let's all act surprised. Do the main event. And move on with our lives. Here's Ava. Here's Stevie. Oh. Cedric. Cedric? But what about his team with Ashanti? We had a meeting with Cedric and it went really well. Good work, Stevie. Well, weren't we building towards him and Ashanti being in a team? Who's coming in now? Now we've got Ashanti as a separate part. What the flip? Hit row, hit row, hit row. If you know, now you know. Hit row. They probably travelled together, didn't they, in all honesty? Right. Daze lives in Maryville. I live in Maryville. Yeah, I've just moved. I live in Maryville. Love it. And what was that other place? Hunter Creek or something. Ava is half dressed. Cedric and Ashanti, let's go, said Dom. Right, Gallus against Rascals. 6-man tag team match next Tuesday. Tag team main event next week. Oh, main event. Here's Ethan Page. Right, let's end this tag team match. Good score is 65. Great is 19. All time is 11. That is 4. That got... Tell you what, man, the in-ring, it's just not done it this week. This is match number 7. So far, we've got good 93%, good 98%, good 95%, good 96%, good 96%, good 96%. Okay, so Trick and oh my god, do you know that music? That music. That flipping music. I I think it's got to be in the running for like one of my all-time favorite themes. I'm not just saying it. When it hits, like it does something to me. So epic sounding. It hits instantly as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so good for interrupting a moment. Like, if two heels were gloating about how there's no one that's... Or a heel's gloating that no one's left, they've beaten everyone. That music hits, the place gonna go bananas on the main roster. Let's go, man. I'm getting married to that theme. Right, there's lots of cheering, there's lots of excitement. And here he is. Oh, that's why there was all the cheering, because he's standing in the entranceway and he's got his back turned so he can turn around. Okay, let's have a look and see what this dude's all about, because I am obviously very interested. He is the talk of the wrestling world. So, Joe Hendry making his way down, and we talk about moments. Do you believe? He looks like Duke Hudson, doesn't he? He looks like Duke Hudson. If you told me that was Duke Hudson's brother, I'd be like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe we should dye Duke Hudson's hair blonde and have him team up with Joe Hendry. Right. A TNA graphic as well, said James. Okay, here we go then. We are underway, but they've not given him any time. Crowd are chanting, "We believe." Trick Williams throwing in some big shots as Joe Hendry's on the outside of the ring. Here's Ethan. Trick has got Ethan going into the corner. Big splash there by Trick. Big uppercut by Trick. Tag, in comes Joe Hendry. So Booker said, let's see what this kid's got. He better show me something. He picks up Sean. And he chucks him down. The longest reigning TNA digital media champion. We've got a delayed vertical suplex to Ethan Page. Goes over, clothesline, Ethan Page to the outside and tags in Trick. We've got Trick perched up top. Ooh, crossbody to the outside. Down goes Ethan. Down goes Sean. Trick Williams back in the ring. Joe Hendry in the ring. The heels are down on the outsides. Okay. My TV listing is showing 10 more minutes of an overrun. Another ad. Picture in picture. I don't have picture in picture. NXT streams are always fun regardless of the show. This show is good. I am enjoying the show and the stream, says William. Edward said, fun fact, Joe Hendry was Rusev and Lana's lawyer back in 2016. He cut a 90-second promo. Psychemy said, was Roxanne Perez on NXT tonight? No. Was she? No. No. James said, this is great. Kader said, I believe in Joe Hendry. Eric said, there's lots of believing going on. Fiona said, you have a delay on NXT. Mine is already on an ad for 3 minutes. I don't know. I'm at an ads break. Daze, you're missing the action. I am on an ad break. They are being Dazist. Yeah, I'm live. Maybe there's a little bit of a difference of you lot being on Peacock or something, and I'm on the WWE network. Don't know. I believe in Joe Hendry, said Alan. This is the best NXT era since Black and Gold, said Fionas. I've known Joe Hendry before TNA. I know him from his time in ICW, where he was one of their top stars, said Chris. WrestleLandy said, who's your pick for the next face of WWE? I'm going to go with Braun or Trick. I don't know. I mean, like, Braun would feel like the next face. Don't know. I suppose Cody's going to carry it for a while, isn't he? So, I mean, I suppose Trick could take it over. It's hard to not say Trick, to be honest. I just think he's so over in NXT. But we know that doesn't always translate to the main roster. So, it is tricky. Braun is very well positioned. And we know that they think a lot about him. I don't think you can rule out Austin Theory either. I think he has to be worth a shout. God only knows what's going to happen with Obafemi when he finally gets going, you know, so... uppercuts by Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry in the ring with Ethan Page. Ethan Page with a kick and into a DDT. Joe Hendry goes down. Tag being made. In comes Sean Spears. Sean Spears comes over and is all over Joe Hendry, throwing in some big shots. And stomp there by Sean. Sean is dancing. Looking over at Trick and mocking him. Chop coming in there by Sean. Joe Hendry goes back into the corner. We got Sean Spears. Shot to the midsection there by Ethan Page. And again, throwing in these shots. Chop coming in there by Ethan Page. Chop coming back there by Joe Hendry. Kick to the midsection. Elbow to the back of the heads. Booker T said, show me something. Tries to get back up to his feet. He's trying to drive over, trying to make the tag of Trick. So right now there's a guillotine that's in. Joe Hendry picks up Ethan Page and suplexes him. Hendry trying to get over, trying to make the tag. Tag made, in comes Trick. Boom, big kick there by Trick. Trick, hot tag. Another kick coming in. Down goes Sean Spears. Against the ropes goes Trick. Duck underneath. Gets caught by Ethan. Uranagi by Ethan. Trick goes down. Trick goes out the ring. Tag being made again as Ethan's on the outsides. Shoulder tackle. Down goes Trick Williams. Back into the ring. Looking for a net breaker. Boom. Connects. Sean Spears going for the cover. And kick out. Daze, should I train in wrestling and make it to WWE so that I can beat Solo and the Bloodline with Roman and Cody and then tag with Roman? You might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, buds. You might be going a little ahead of yourself. I'd say if you want to get into wrestling, start training in it. But it's a very difficult world to succeed in. There's a lot of people desperately trying to get not many spaces in these big companies. Corey said, if you have never seen the song that Joe Hendry did for Matt Cardona, you should look it up. It's awesome. K-Dub said, Moose needs to randomly show up and confront Ober Champ, facing Champ. Nice suplex there on Trick. The heels are in control. James said, stick to boxing. Alkaline Prime said, Jay and Trick need to team up. Imagine yeet that Trick. Yeet that Trick. Very good. Right, Trick goes down to one knee. We've got Sean Spears standing over him. Another chop coming in. Next face in WWE is Tiffy, says Pappy. Philip, shout out to you. Right, we've got more big shots coming in. Back elbow there by Trick. Going over. Gets picked up. Samoan drop. No. Takes him over. Looking for a roll. Didn't get it. Oh, lovely. Great work by Trick. Sean Spears goes down. Joe Hendry on the outside trying to get the fans fired up as Ethan's reaching for the tag as well. Ethan Page has got a hold of the leg of Sean. He's trying to drag him over. Here's Oro. Oro attacking Ethan Page. Oro Mensah is not letting this go, is he? Oro Mensah chases Ethan Page away from ringside. Sean Spears on his own. In comes Joe Hendry. Clothesline by Joe Hendry. And again, just throwing in these clotheslines. Sean Spears going down. Page has gone. Sean Spears in the corner. Knee up there by Sean. DDT there by Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry grabbing. Sean Spears against the ropes. Gets caught. Catches Spears and is going to look to plant him. Fall away slam. And then kick up by Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is looking out to the crowd. Sean Spears has got no one to tag. Tricks out the ring. Sean Spears getting up, charging over against the ropes, over the top rope to the outsides. Did he mean to do that? Maybe he did. Knee there by Trick. I didn't know if Sean meant to go over the top to the outsides. Is this going to be his finisher? He's got him up in like a choke slam. Plants him down. And that should do it. 2, 3. Joe Hendry pins Sean Spears. And it is a win for Trick Williams and Joe Hendry. So where does this go from here? I mean, it's clear that the people are going to want to see more of Joe Hendry, but where does it go from here? Ethan Page chased away. Corey said, I've sent you a video on X. Mr. B said, what kind of finisher is that? Okay. Hendry for the win. That's his finisher, said Kevin Inch. Hendry didn't impress me, said AKF. Matt has said, I'm a Hendry atheist. What does that mean? Oh, does that mean you don't believe? An atheist. Why are they playing this rubbish song instead of the good one? Let's go. Right, well, there we go. It is done. And that was NXT. So let's get in scores for that main event. What did people think about the tag match? And over on the second channel, we'll get a whole poll up for NXT overall as to what people thought. This will be interesting, actually, to see what people thought about that main event, because so far tonight, every flipping match has got good rating, which, you know, honestly, I don't think that's what we needed for the follow-up to Heatwave. I think we needed stronger in-ring tonight. And so far, out of the 6 matches that we've rated, every single one came out as good. So there was a lot of excitement coming out of Heatwave. I don't know if we've managed to keep that excitement going. We was very honest with people in saying that this can be a mixed bag. It can be good sometimes. It can be a little off sometimes. It's a mixed bag. You never quite know what you're going to get with NXT. I think this was an okay episode. Plenty to watch. The pace of it, you know, you're just moving on to the next thing. But I'll be interested to know what people's thoughts are and what people have given this score-wise. We will try, when we've never done it before, but we will try and do an opinion video. So, what did you think about the Rascals? What did you think about Joe Hendry? What did you think about the Open with Ethan Page and his promo? What did you think about the women and the new female group that's formed with JC and Jasmine? And we'll do that, and we'll see kind of what the response is. We'll see if that's something people are interested in. I'm just going to put the poll up on the other channel, then we'll get to a few final thoughts. Before we move on, what did you score NXT for the 9th of July? Right. Try and get back to the chat. I've put that poll up on the other channel. Lovely. Carmen Live said, Daze, I give NXT tonight an 8. D. Will said 7.5. It was a very fun show. It did have its ups and downs, but I did have fun watching. William said, I would like a Luthez press holding his wrist and tackling them like a spring choke slam. It was like a Luthez press. Okay. Holding the wrist and tackling them like a spring choke slam. What, that's how you would describe that finisher? I don't see the Thez Press part. But it was like a choke slam, but I don't think he had him around the throat. I don't actually know where he had him because of the camera angle, but it was choke slam-esque. I thought it was better than Raw, said Shaquem. You thought it was better than Raw? Really? The Joe Hendry turnaround, it makes me smile every time, said Sis. Jim said there was no Roxy. Edward said, I'm built different, though. Every sport I go into, I conquer. You conquered boxing. You went into boxing and you conquered it. Are you sure? I mean, I'm not doubting you. I'm only asking. Matt said it's a good thing that Hendry can talk on the mic because he sure as hell can't wrestle. I haven't actually heard him do a mic. Oh, he did a quick little promo thing, but you can't really judge him on... I don't think you can really judge him on anything that we've seen so far. I mean, he did that promo just before the Battle Royal, but I mean, that was a nothing thing. Then he quickly got eliminated. Then he's in a tag match. I mean, you can't really judge in a tag match. He needs a proper singles match, doesn't he, really, so that we can get a gauge. Joe Hendry suplexed the dude from a cradle position. That was freaking tough to do, said KP. Good thing. Oh, we read that one. Joe Hendry should use the boomer drop. East Chicago said it was the best show of the week. Kathleen said 7 out of 10. There was not too much like Joe Hendry was fun to see. James said, Daze, remember the choke slam that Big Show and the Giant used to do? It's basically like that. Got ya. Got ya. Did I just see Batman? Batman, big fan, said, believe in Joe Hendry. Edward said, I'm not far off, let me tell you. Hendry was all that, but it's gonna crazy pop, said Charles. Lloyd said, I hope SmackDown can do good so that we can have a great week. Philip said, Daze, I never really used to watch NXT, but then I did start watching you, and I am starting to dig it. Big Time said 775. The opening was watered down by the crowd talking over Ethan's promo. Heritage Cup didn't get going, but aside from that, it's a solid 8 for the rest. Yeah, Carbon. Oh my god, I just don't know if I can. I can't even face it. I don't know if I can even face it. Carbon Live said, Daze, I visit Merrillville, Indiana a lot since it's not too far from me, but I don't live in Merrillville, Indiana. I live in Hammond, Indiana. Thank you. I don't remember asking where you live. I don't remember asking that question, but I do want to just say thank you for clarifying that for me. Because if ever I wonder that now, I've got the answer, haven't I? I've got the answer. I'll never find out if you're ever going to go to Merrillville ever again. I've come to peace with that. It's fine. I've already processed that. I will never get that answer. And it's all right. I think sometimes in life, not getting everything you're looking for, that's okay. It's a big thing to realize that actually you're not going to get everything you want out of life. And that's okay. Coming to peace with that is a big lesson that I've learned during these streams. During this stream, actually. During this exact stream, that is a big moment that I've come to realize. So, Carmen Live, I want to thank you. I think in some roundabout way, you've made me a better person on this stream. Because I realized to just not worry about stuff as much anymore. Sometimes things aren't going to go your way. Sometimes you're not going to get everything you want. Sometimes questions will just go unanswered. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it. Daze, what was your favourite Money in the Bank match from Saturday? Says Carmen Live 2. Well, Carmen Live 2, thank you for that question. I think my favourite match was the women's ladder match because it reminded me of a women's ladder match that I saw when I watched ARW Pro Wrestling. And it reminded me very much of that, so thank you. Daze, it's crazy how the TNA appearances have boosted the crowd energy for what felt like an ordinary NXT. Paul said, it's a great way to spend the night. Thank you, Daze. Well, thank you to everybody that is in the chat and that joined us. And that feels like a lovely way to round this off. So hopefully people got something from it. I'm really looking forward to the opinions. I'm going to put that post out now and we'll see what people thought about the show. That's where you can have your say, get your thoughts across about this week's episode. We don't normally do it for NXT, but as we said, if that's something people would like us to start doing, an opinions video for NXT each week, we can definitely do it. So we'll give that a go this week and we'll see what people have got to say. But yeah, other than that, we're done. We're good. And a big thank you to everyone that joined us. We'll be back tomorrow with a member stream. We'll have content on the channel. Obviously, we're working towards Friday and the next big live stream. We're doing that. We've got UFC this weekend. There's plenty on the way. Opinions on the second channel. It's all happening. It's all happening. Before I run away, I need to just record the scores of the matches so that I've got all of those. The last message we had was from William. He said, I like boobs. Can you sing a song about boobs. So, no is the answer to that. Boobs. I love jiggly boobs. I love it when they jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle. They remind me of Hammond, Indiana, 'cause they're so beautiful to look at. Jiggly boobs, jiggly boobs, jiggly boobs. There you go. There's a little song about boobs. You are spoiled, and I am leaving.